This episode brought to you by Echo Base Search and Rescue. Because if you want to wait around all day for the Rebel Snowspeeders to show up,
then I'll see you in hell. May the 4th be with you, nerds. We're watching Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Findlay and Todd Murray.
Hey, everybody. May the 4th be with you. Welcome to Miscast Commentary. I am Joe Findlay.
I'm Todd. Tebow, the Force is with me, Murray.
Ooh, I like that. Well done. We have got another one for you. 2 episodes in a row that are movies. How do you receive such gifts? I didn't say that very well. Gifts.
Gift is. That's more than one. Yeah, that's called English. You did great.
I'm sending you gifts.
Gift is. Giftes is Vestes.
Gifts.
If you're giving Estevez as a gift, that's what that is.
Is this the birth of Festivus?
Mm-hmm.
It was really just a speech impediment and a stroke happening at the same time.
While looking at an Emilio Estevez picture.
Nice.
It causes seizures all the time.
Constantly. That's why I can't watch Rated X anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie though, actually. Go watch Rated X if you haven't
Rated X.
It's it was a straight to video thing. I think it was like one of the
Did
festival.
He direct it?
It was a festival film that he directed. Charlie Sheen was in it. It was about the 2 brothers who made like mainstream porn.
I got you.
Yeah. And then the one killed the other and stuff like that.
He's got a new one coming out too with a bunch of people in it where they hold up the bus or the library.
Oh, really?
It looks good.
Good. He's a decent director, man.
Yeah. Bobby was good. I liked it a lot. I thought Demi Moore and Sharon Stone scenes were great.
Yeah. I don't remember it very well. It's been a long time.
Yeah, because they're women. And you took them out of your mind on purpose. You said, I'm not even watching this scene because there's 2 women in it.
Well, it's because they were women who were once strippers and leg spreaders, and neither one of them were doing either of that.
I know. You know what the hell?
That was the thing where the one girl's like, I showed my pussy, and the other one said, me too.
And then they high-fived.
With their pussies.
That's right.
Oh, that's really high flobbity too.
Oh, yeah.
Because they weren't the youngest when that movie came out.
Sounds like 2 cloned Zoidbergs making out.
Ooh, that is as close as we get to getting us back on track as saying Zoidberg.
Boom.
Boom. We're watching Star Wars. You want it, guys?
Nah.
I hope that
everyone... Bobby. What the fuck?
May the 4th be with you. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
Let's watch a presidential hopeful get murdered.
I hope the 4th is with you because we're not watching Star Wars. That would have been a nice twist. Fuck.
That's a good April Fool's episode.
What, April Fool's? We're going to watch Star Wars? Haha, we're watching Bobby?
No, we just say we're watching something, then April Fool's, we just watch something else.
Oh, that'll get them. We're going to piss them right off, eh?
Both of them.
They're like, I got the whole thing synced up with the shit.
I know.
It took me 26 minutes.
But you never even say it. We just keep watching, and then I just start spouting out things. And like, what are they talking about?
What? Is this the same movie?
Sean Connery's not in this movie.
They won't even notice.
I know.
We talk so much sauce, they won't even... Come on, let's go.
Talking sauce.
Do this.
All right. Let us feel it. Todd's going to get in a backpack and sit on my back, and then I'm going to press play.
Play. Now.
The old Fox.
Here we go.
I do miss this in
Number
the new Star
2
Wars movies.
In our line of Star Wars extravaganzas.
Yeah. So we're going to decide the order we're going to do them. So we're obviously doing the first trilogy first. Do we do the prequels next?
Ugh.
I say we do them.
Oh,
we
God.
We have plenty to say, I'm sure.
I think that we should do a screening of all prequels in a row in a truck stop bathroom. And the moment that he goes, no, we blow our fucking brains out.
No, I was thinking you do it at a truck stop glory hole. And then just
it's the same
no.
place. It's a big cock thrust its way into.
It's weird. And then we.
Why am I standing next to the hole? No.
And then the next episode we talk about, it's like, it's weird. You didn't show up. It's like, weird. I was sucking some dude's dick. You didn't show up. And it's like, oh, you sucked my dick.
Do it. Do this.
What? Oh, okay. The Empire Strikes Back. It is a dark time for the rebellion. Although the Death Star has been destroyed, Imperial troops have driven the rebel forces from their hidden base and pursued them across the galaxy. Evading the dreaded Imperial Star Fleet, a group of freedom fighters led by Luke Luke Skywalker has established a new secret base on the remote ice world of Hoth.
I'll do the next one. Is there another one?
Yeah, there's another one. This is all you.
The evil Lord Darth Vader, obsessed with finding young Skywalker, has dispatched thousands of remote probes, oh gee, I hear ya, into the far reaches of my spaces.
So while we have a minute before it goes to the actual next scene, so Irvin Kershner directed this. He actually refused it originally. He is George Lucas's old film teacher. And that's why he got offered the role. He needed somebody he could really
Good
trust.
call.
So he
needed somebody that he could let do all the work and then him take all the fucking credit and money.
Well, actually, there's a lot to that, too. We'll get into that more. But Irvin Kershner, his first directing job was also his first writing job. He did a Stakeout on Dope Street. He did it for Roger Corman.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but he's also directed A Fine Madness with Sean Connery, The Flim Flam Man with George C. Scott.
The Flim Flam Man.
The not Bond movie, Never Say Never Again.
Oh, sweet. The one...
Well, Thunderball...
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, Thunderball and Never Say Never Again were both based on Thunderball.
Right.
And because
Were
that
those
was
the ones they came out at the same time and the studio
Yes.
did one, but then the Broccolis did another one or something?
Never Say Never Again went up against Octopussy, and Octopussy won.
Right.
So
That was Sean Connery still, right?
Sean Connery was Never Say Never Again was Sean Connery.
Roger Moore?
But yeah, Roger Moore was Octopussy.
Ah.
See, that was because that was Sean Connery's big fuck you to the Broccolis, was going and doing somebody else's
James Bond.
because the other company owned only one James Bond story,
Right.
which was Thunderball, and they made 2 movies out of it, and they both sucked.
Beautiful.
But
Way to go, guys.
Yeah, but he goes down as being the only man to direct a Star Wars and a Bond movie. If you're willing to count it. being a
Yeah,
Bond
I
movie.
would.
So,
Fuck, man, it had Bond in it.
Yeah, he's the only American.
He was
to direct.
legally allowed to say, I'm James Bond. Then it's a Bond movie.
Fair enough. He was the only American to do a Bond movie.
Look
as
at this
well.
thing. That thing's really there, man.
Yeah. He also directed RoboCop 2, which was weird.
RoboCop 2 is pretty good.
He played Zebedee in the last Temptation of Christ. He did a little bit of acting.
Zebedee-boo?
Zebedee, and he was...
Wasn't he Jesus' right-hand man?
He was
used
there.
to go partying together.
Yeah, he was like...
He's like, Jesus, my man, Zebedee, what's up?
He was his roadie or some shit. The original script for this was written by a sci-fi writer named Lee Brackett. She died of cancer after she submitted the script, or it wasn't quite done yet, and then they went through it and they scrapped the entire script and hired Lawrence Kasdan.
Jeez.
But
Look at this guy.
her script was weird though. Her script actually, some things that happened in this could not have happened ever, because her script would have ruined all of it. We'll go over it as the movie goes though.
You better trust this guy. Where are they filming? Is this a soundstage or what? Oh my God.
Some of it is soundstage, but any spots where you just see flat out snow,
A Bumble.
they're in Finland or Norway.
Oh, jeez. You know, when you see this Bumble in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, he's not nearly this brutal. But you get out there and you see a real Bumble.
He wanted to be though, because holy shit, this I like the idea of the Tauntauns, that they got something kind of native to the area.
Little jinky there, eh?
Mm-hmm.
The real guys look awesome still, though, right? Look at these guys. There's Wall-E.
Yeah, it was pretty much.
Yeah, holy shit.
I know. What's really interesting, apparently they said that a lot of extras were children in this because they wanted the hangar to look that much bigger.
Child labor.
So they basically just dressed them up like adults and had them not facing the screen.
That's awesome.
This is the only, at least for the original movies, this was the only full-sized Millennium Falcon ever made.
Really?
Because all the other ones, they just needed to see the first
side or a piece or right?
So this one they
actually... Or the little ramp, the little thing that comes down. And
So this one they actually did make the whole one.
Oh, there she is. God bless her soul.
She looks so much older.
So she died in between these, right? Us watching them.
No, she died in 2016.
No, but we haven't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we watched one. She died.
Yeah, but no, she died.
Did she die before we watched A New Hope?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she did. I actually thought that myself.
I'm not the fact guy.
No, but actually, I thought the same thing, and I looked it up, because it seemed like it was so much sooner. But
no way.
Yeah, because she died before completion of filming of The Last Jedi.
Look at them all. There's so many dead. They're all dead now.
Right.
Well, either in real life or
Yeah.
We can't say anything about what happens later, because in about 12 years from now, we'll reach those new ones, and it'll ruin it for someone.
Probably.
They just piss you off when somebody, they get like, you're talking about The Usual Suspects now, and somebody's like, whoa, like, I haven't seen that yet. Don't ruin it. It's like, dude, it's been like 20 fucking years. You're not seeing it.
I'm going to say...
How long is what's the time limit?
I say for a movie 1 year. I say 1 month for a TV show.
Agreed.
A TV show episode.
I dig it.
So
I dig that.
So I'm okay.
Those are the new rules, people.
Yeah, so just
Get
fucking
used
deal
to
with it.
them. Martial law.
So he mentions that thing about the bounty hunter and Ord Mantell. I've never heard it, but they actually did a radio play that covers what happened at Ord Mantell.
They do a lot of those. I just read something today, just a headline that said one of these novels that have come out recently really explained a lot more that happened in The Last Jedi or something.
Yeah,
This world is very huge and there's lots of things, too much to read.
yeah.
much to read.
I haven't read any of them yet, but I'd really like to. I
Because
love.
they fill it out all. They fill the worlds out a lot more. They explain things and...
Yeah, I like that they really start to genuinely explore their relationship in this one, because the other one you get those little moments of like jealousy or whatever with the kiss or these things, but it's just like this one like really kind of lays into it. I couldn't imagine why they would pick this world to be to come to hide out. It's like, let's go to the coldest place so everything is difficult to do.
Yes.
Can't run our equipment.
Well, you don't want, this is the only place to be where they're not going to find you.
I suppose so.
Those crazy Nazi pricks.
So as of 2008, this was number 3 on Empire Magazine's 500 best movies of all time.
Did they name it after this movie?
What's that?
Did they name their magazine after this movie?
Probably not, but I wonder if that did affect, if the name did affect it or not. But the biggest thing about this was George Lucas financed this movie himself.
Boom.
And he wanted to become...
You want 100% of the profits?
Well, he wanted to A, maintain his rights, and B, he wanted to make himself independent from Hollywood. And he had a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah, he sure did.
Well, he had a lot of problems during this one. No, but he had a lot of problems during this one because, like, to the point where they were so mad. Like, they still wanted him to have the credits in the first part of the movie because it was still rules to have... That's...
credits before and after?
Yeah, you had to have credits before and after.
Remember Total Recall? Jesus.
Because that's a union rule.
I'm like,
right?
oh my God. Not a lot of movies do that now.
Yeah.
Did they change that or something?
No, because now what you got to do, you know how they'll have like the animated sequence or whatever that has all the stars' names, and then they have the scroll that has everybody
Right.
again? That's how you get around it. You have to show it twice. And they just said now you can show it twice as long as it's anywhere, right? But so they let him not have the credits in the first one because they figured it was going to bomb. And then this one was like, oh, it's going to be a big deal. They're like, no, you can't do that again.
So the studio themselves are like, oh God, this is terrible.
Yeah, so no, not the studio. The unions came after him,
And they're like, this is going to do terrible.
First they the first time around, but now this time
That's what I mean, yeah.
they tried to get it blocked from release because
This
he didn't do
guy.
what he said. Then they fined both George Lucas and Irving Kershner.
Hey, was that new?
Not since 1996?
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it was in that first.
That was added.
Yeah, in the re-release, this was added because originally you only saw a couple of like shots.
Yes,
like
yeah.
now with his full body shots.
Look at this guy. He looks awesome.
Yeah, they did do a really
You see
good
this
job.
guy at Comic-Con? That'd be a sweet
Yeah.
costume.
Yeah, it's not worth the effort.
Oh, you don't even know.
I do.
What if the boobs are cut out and it's some hot girl?
Now we're talking.
A hot... what's his name?
Sexy Wampa.
Sexy Wampa. You tell me you didn't see a little sexy lady Wampa out there, you'd be digging it?
A lady Wampa, yeah.
They ain't asexual, man.
I'm not gay for Wampa. I'm straight for Wampa. I'm gay for Tauntaun. Wampa, Wampa.
Oh, yeah. You can't tell the sex of those things.
Is
It's
that
all
what is
good.
that what a Tauntaun's doing? Warning you about Wampas? Wampa, Wampa.
Yep. I think
right,
you're
boom.
absolutely correct, actually.
I did it. So what really surprised me, this movie actually was in limited release when it came out. And the reason it was in limited release, they released it in 70 millimeter.
Ooh.
Like Django or
Foreshadowing
like,
right there.
whatever.
You see that guy just got his arm taken off.
There you go.
You think that's Karma? Karma's a bitch, Luke.
Karma is a bitch.
Big time bitch.
Yeah, you're not even a true Jedi yet.
That
You're
thing
using
was
a
coming
lightsaber.
over to help
This-
you down.
No, we got to stop everything for a second. This is right outside of, not this long shot, but that other shot was right outside of the hotel in Finland where they were staying. They had a massive snowstorm that should have shut down filming, but instead, Irvin Kershner just sent Mark Hamill out there. The cameraman shot from inside the lobby of the hotel,
What?
and he was just like in the snow. Like that's a parking lot, but that's
No
covered in legit
shit.
snow. And Han's
This
shots
looks really good right now.
yeah, Han's shots are in Norway because the clothes he were built for sound stages, and he wasn't ready and they weren't ready for him for the cold, so he had to go to Norway where it was slightly warmer but snowy. So,
I guess they could do these kind of things back then, eh?
yeah, well,
Forget it. We'll just send you over there.
yeah, well, they weren't. That's not like it's far, right?
No, but I mean, still, it's like you think you got the shot planned for right here.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it would have been like, you just cost $5 million.
Yeah.
You just cost the movie, right?
Like Lord of the Rings even did cover sets and stuff like that where it would rain and they'd go into there was a squash court that had a bunch of rocks up and they would just, it's raining. So then they'd go and they'd be like wandering around the rocks and like the Frodo and Sam scenes and stuff. They're like, we always got something to do.
Oh, yeah, we got to do part 2 of that one soon, man.
Yeah, that's a June one. So that'll be next month. But,
Got your finger right on it, huh?
well, that's my job. But yeah, also every time you see that picture, nice warm cast and crew, and just Mark Hamill out there all by himself,
Freezing his ass off. That's hilarious. That's method acting.
no doubt.
This guy deserves an Oscar.
Yeah. What was really interesting was
I love that.
I know. What was really interesting was the everybody.
There's Zach Morse's cell phone.
I know, but the what's it called? The see, that guy there, that's John Ratzenberger with the mustache.
What?
Norm from Cheers is.
Right there on the right.
Yep.
No shit.
Yeah, so that's him. So
Oh,
he's
that's
like,
so him.
he's gonna tell you a bunch of. What a great voice.
Whoa.
Like- yeah.
Cliffy.
Yeah. So I want
Is that
to.
his real voice?
No, he's the one he does is his real voice, like in all the Toy Story movies.
Right.
This one, he was just getting all serious. I think it's because they wanted people to be all British and shit.
Right.
Um,
He looks British, actually. That's
Mm-hmm.
funny. He would suit a Brit.
yeah. They said though, there was always the biggest rumor that the reason they did the Wampa scene was to give Mark Hamill all the scars on his
Well, yeah,
face.
because he hurt himself skiing or something,
No, it
didn't
was
he?
a car accident, but it actually ends up not being true. The car accident was 2 years before. He had no scars on his face when they shot. This was just planned. Actually, there were more Wampas planned to be in the movie. In the movie, like the original script, there was actually Wampas in the thing. They had captured some that were like loose and attacking people, and then there actually was an attack inside the hangar.
Dear
and
God,
stuff
hey,
that.
Wampa world.
So they just basically cut it down to the one to give it a little bit more of a
Right.
menace.
Like
you
they're
know?
kind of like an elusive creature rather than like they were being attacked.
Yeah. Alec Guinness here, Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, you got some
so-
ghost people hanging around for every time you're about to die. Somebody
know.
comes to save you.
Right? So he actually shot everything for this movie in one day. He shot from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and he got 1/4% of the whole box office, so it ends up being millions of dollars. when it's all
Holy
said and
shit.
done.
Way to go, Alec Guinness.
Right? So he actually had eye surgery just prior to this. But like in the original like story for the whole trilogy, he had meant to be alive for the whole thing. But then there was rumors that he didn't like the job, so they agreed that they would kill him, but then just bring him back as like a little guide in places, so he wouldn't have to kind of be there. You know, he just went to. He was like an.
I wonder what he thought of it afterwards. Like, you know, because he's like, oh, I'm a thespian and I act on stage and blah, blah, blah. And then once people love the movie everywhere, do you think maybe he changed his mind a bit or?
I don't know. I'm sure
maybe-
he appreciated that people liked the movie and liked him in it, but it's just not his cup of tea, literally. But
This is the best scene.
yeah.
This is the.
Yeah. George Lucas actually called this for the longest time. He said that this was the worst Star Wars movie, and he was apologizing for it. And then he started to realize that people thought it was the best
Yeah.
one. And then he apologized.
Wow.
So, interesting story. This was actually based on, you've seen The Revenant.
Yes.
This is based on the scene where he cuts Hugh Glass cuts open the horse in The Revenant, which I didn't realize was a true story.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
It's supposed
based
to
on
be like.
that's based on the real guy, and this is based on that moment. So The Revenant is ripping off a movie that ripped off The Revenant,
Whoa.
right?
Whoa. That's a lot of ripping off.
But yeah, so we were talking before about like the fines and stuff for the credits and that. So George Lucas and Irvin Kershner were fined a combined $250,000 for not putting the credits at the beginning. Lucas,
Who does the MPA or something? Or?
no, the unions, the Directors Guild and the
No
and the
shit.
Writers
Nobody
Guild.
even watches the goddamn credits.
I know. Well, they did when they were at the beginning of the movie.
And
Right?
then, well,
'Cause
you
they-
were,
you had to.
nobody still watches them.
No, I know, but
That's why Marvel did what they did, because now at least people stay for them. Like that
Exactly.
was like the smartest idea.
yeah, they're the ones who.
I might not be looking.
Yeah.
Well,
but-
like, what do you want?
but
Oh my
I
god, is
would
that John Favreau? Look at this
I know
guy.
it looks kind of like him.
Oh my god.
But the he also he looks like John Favreau when he was in like Friends.
When if you okay, you know what? This movie, like, okay, this scene's a little whatever. It still looks good though.
Oh, it does, yeah.
This movie's gonna look better than the new ones do in 50 years. Everything's really there. Like some of the
Yeah.
special effects, like the tom-toms or whatever, jams running around.
I think for the most part, the new ones will hold up.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's
That
good.
looks awesome.
But it's still, it's like everything. It has its own style.
Hopefully,
So,
maybe Disney will do what Lucas did, and like every now and then they'll just update it.
I'm thinking they probably will sooner than
That's
later.
probably in the contract.
Yeah.
It's probably like, yo, you gotta just at least come up with 5 different versions of each movie year after year. Because the $8 trillion you made off it is not enough.
Yeah.
Back in theaters with 1/4 of a second of a new scene. Like, oh great! Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah,
he's
that's
breathing
actually-
in Luke's farts. Look at this. You can see the tube going right there.
I like it. His mouth is actually an old microphone. Anybody who doesn't know, that was Bacta that they're inserting into this tank.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. See, and they ripped off Starship Troopers.
Everybody's like, of course we knew those back to idiot.
Yeah, plenty of them did, right? So, there was another reason people thought that his face was all fucked up, because in the Christmas special, which came out prior to this, which was actually the original. We're gonna do it.
Yeah,
too,
we
one time.
have to.
But
I don't know if I've seen it.
are you shitting?
I don't know if I've seen it or
Well,
not.
we're canceling everything and watching that. But he was wearing so much makeup, like it's caked on him, and they thought, oh, that must have been to also cover up the
So
scars.
his face was okay.
Which may have been, well, his face was okay during shooting of this, apparently. But
what happened?
Well, his face got cut up and stuff when he had the accident, and he looked different, but he didn't have scars everywhere or anything like that, right?
He still doesn't, does he?
No, not at all.
Just
It
looks
was
like a grizzled old vet.
yeah, he's just 3 years older, and he was a kid when they started. He's aged a little. Oh, I love this. If
Nerf Herder. That's a band.
no, there's because
They
it's
probably
based on
banned
this.
it. Yeah, right. Other way around, bro.
Yeah, well, it's like Fallout Boy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. There's Star Wars has all kinds of like books and role playing games. And stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's a role playing game that actually tells you why she calls him a nerf herder. It's because she was on Alderaan growing up. There was a nerf farm. Nerfs are these little animals, and one of them bit her, and it's like which caused her to hate nerfs and all who heard them. I was like, because
Yeah, you mentioned all this role play. I
This
love
was
it when
the
girls
only-
pretend they're Leia and I'm Luke.
That was the only scene, that hospital scene, where the main characters are together for the entire movie.
Oh.
Luke is not with anybody else for pretty much
Oh,
the
yeah,
remainder
really
of the
fucks
movie,
off
right?
the big wimp.
I know, right? And then, but then anytime you see, like, even when they're in the same location, they're never on screen together again.
Yeah. Oh, but he's
Maybe
got
if
his
they-
cough lozenges ready to go.
Well, he
Stuck
should.
on his jacket there.
You got Fisherman's Friend ready to
Oh,
rock,
yeah.
right?
He's always yelling and hollering at people. He's going to need one of those.
I'm really sad that Peter Mayhew's done being Chewbacca. I understand it because he's old and he's got, like, he replaced both his knees, suffering from gigantism and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, who cares? It's friggin'... Do you feel like
He
the performance of Chewbacca will be lessened now because some new guy's got to take over?
No, not at all. It's just fun knowing, just going, hey, here he
It's
is.
the same
right?
guy.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, the original cast is all here, and that's
They
not
should
true
have
now,
killed
right?
him off. If I was Chewbacca, I would have said, I'll only do the movie if you kill me off 3 times.
It's essentially what happens to
Boom.
Han. We'll get into that.
Oh, yeah, blow that fucker up.
Yeah.
I love that, all that shit on his face.
So yeah, Lucas burned so many bridges during this. So after all that finding shit, he
I can't
left.
believe that was a big deal. They don't do that anymore, do they?
Well, again, the rules are you have to show them twice. It's just they don't have to be at the beginning anymore. It means you have to show them twice at the end.
Oh, yeah, because usually it'll be at the beginning and then later on at the end, it'll be again.
Yes. So
I always wondered why that was. I was like, yeah, I heard you. You're the director. Well, how many fucking times are you going to tell me?
that's specifically why the above the line people have to be shown twice. But so George Lucas left the Writers Guild and Directors Guild and the MPAA over this. So it really fucked him over when it came time to like hire for things. Like Steven Spielberg was supposed to direct Return of the Jedi, and he couldn't because he was in the Directors Guild. So
That's funny. That's awesome to know because I always knew that he was supposed to do number 3. And that's why.
So it caused.
See that you just learned something out there in podcast world.
This is what I'm here for, man. So the guy on the left here is Admiral Ozzel. He's in a ton of stuff. Nothing we'd really know, but the one thing you'd recognize him for. So the guy with the mustache when it goes back, he played Hitler in the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Ah.
So that was
And
a
he
good,
bumps into him and signs his book, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
and
Oh, there he is. Granddaddy to that whiny little punk ass bitch.
and oops.
My lord. What suit? Okay, I'm sure I must ask you. We got Comic-Con coming up here.
We do.
Okay, if you're gonna go, are you dressing up?
No, I tell you, I don't.
What if
dress up.
What if I dressed you up? What if I got you all mommied up? What if I pulled your pants down, put some pants onto you?
Well, then yeah.
Raise your arms, slapped a shirt onto you,
I'm fine
slapped
with
some
that.
makeup onto you.
This
Raggedy
guy here.
Andy.
I'll talk about him. Raggedy Andy.
There goes Raggedy Andy.
Fuck that noise. This is one
What
of
the
the few
hell?
bad shots in the movie.
Who would you go? Okay, Star Wars. You've got all the money. Who would you go as?
I'll tell you because he's in this movie, but I will not reveal him until he shows
Oh,
up.
he's in this one.
He's in this one. So, and I've actually spoken to people about.
I
what
think
it would
I know
take
who
for-
you're gonna say. I'm not gonna say it though.
Yeah, but I've actually spoken to people about some of the logistics to figure out what I could do to make the thing. And
Because
so,
I want to go and I want to.
I
I
want
want
you
to
to
go
actually
dressed
be
as
here this
something.
summer.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to.
Well, I'm
trying to line up all these turkeys here.
yeah, well, I'm gonna
Oh.
I may end up going 2 days because
He
I have
still
to go.
loves it. I know. I want to go multiple days too. I want to really check the space
Well,
out.
I'm
man.
going with my sister on the Friday. I go with her for one day, and I'll do my autographs that day. And then
Right.
if you want to go together on the other one, I don't know why we're making plans on the fucking.
Let's
podcast,
do
but
this
here we
thing,
go.
man. Somebody call and make plans with me for the weekend.
Yeah.
Fucking right on, Grafal. What's up, girl?
What-
I like a lady with a mustache.
How you living, baby?
You know, come on. YouTube. Where are they going? What's happening?
So
Oh,
he's
man.
going to battle, and then he's supposed to be leaving because
He's
stuff.
got a sexy attitude, that one.
So yeah, so George Lucas originally he wanted to be really hands off of this movie because he had like that essentially
Good idea.
No, he
Probably
essentially
the best
had,
idea he's
whoa,
ever
Come
had.
on, let me talk. So he essentially had the heart attack for making the last one, being so stressed about it. So he did the story and he was the executive producer, and that was supposed to be it. He had somebody else producing it. He had excuse me.
Somebody else write it?
He didn't write. Oh, he did write the first one, but yeah, he had Lawrence Kasdan, Gary Kurtz was producing it, but then Gary Kurtz went like $10 million over budget, so then he had to come back and like get it back on track, and then the rough cut that was done by the editor was garbage and like it didn't look like a movie, so he had to take over on the editing and like he just
Lucas.
yeah, George Lucas, he had to keep
Oh,
cutting
no
in.
way. I didn't know that.
Actually cost him his marriage essentially because like he was
Holy Jesus.
the reason he wanted the time off in addition to his health, he also wanted he was building Skywalker Ranch at this time. He was expanding Lucasfilm into an actual thing because they were getting ready to make Raiders of the Lost Ark at the same time. And then he was fairly recently married. The guy we're looking on the right there, his name is Kenneth Colley, and he plays that's Admiral Piet or Captain Piet at this point. He played Jesus in The Life of Brian.
I like that like his admiral, like the rank he is at this point in
Yeah,
time.
sorry.
Do you know
He
that?
did
Don't be
just-
sorry.
He did just say
Don't
it.
be
but-
sorry for. That's my
Like
bad.
I did know,
It's my
but
bad.
he did just say it. But I
No,
did
but then
know.
you knew his ranking before.
Yeah.
You'll know it after. You know exactly how long it takes for one of these officers to become the next step up.
Yeah,
He's got all the paperwork.
I actually have all of the like you know how you have to take the lieutenant's exam for
Yes.
like the police and stuff like that. I have the exams for this one. I can be a brigadier general in any branch of the Imperial Army.
If you're going to talk shit over top of a Star Wars movie, you literally need authorized papers.
Yeah.
Which he has.
Uh-huh.
Multiple times over. He goes back for the refresher courses.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I want to go back to what you talked about there before about this ruin. Like these movies essentially made / ruined
Yeah.
his life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You said he almost had he did have a heart attack, or he
Well,
almost
he
had
had
a heart
he had a
attack?
heart problem. He got really sick.
Like he
and
was
stuff like that.
shooting for a heart
He
attack.
he was right there. It was-
Lost his wife.
Yeah. So like they got they got divorced about 2 years after making the movie. So right aroundish when this movie came out. This was awesome to actually see one of those ships go down. It's not as cool as what happens in The Last Jedi, but I'll take what
Is it's cooler, okay? This is the 80s.
yeah.
Everything is cooler in the 80s.
That's true. Well, this is 80. So it's still almost the 70s.
Ooh, is it the 80s
The
then
80s.
if it's 80?
Well, yeah, it is, but
You know what I mean? You think you'd be 2 or 3 before you're right into the 80s.
fair enough.
Do you think that his wife tried to get half that 4.2 bill. I'll bet you she changed her mind after he got $4 billion. She's probably like, hey, you
Star
know,
Wars
it's
was
your
great.
ex-wife. You know,
You did great. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, he's made his choices. These are still like some of the most intimidating things to be like. This shot is amazing.
What a wicked scene, eh?
Yeah. I never call them this, but even George Lucas has confirmed you would call them AT-ATs, not AT-ATs.
Ass hats? At.
Yeah. But I don't do that because there's also the ATST and they don't call them ATSIT, so they can go fuck
Why
themselves.
not?
Well, because they didn't. I don't know.
Why the difference of name? Look at that.
I don't know. It was just, well, the ATST are the smaller ones, like the two-legged
Oh,
walkers.
the two-legged guys, the little birdie,
Yeah.
the little bird feeders. I call them the bird feeders.
Yeah. I've never seen him in this, but in the as one of the extras is Joe Johnston, the director who did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Jumanji, Jurassic Park 3, Captain America. He was in the miniatures department for this, so they let lots of crew people be extras from time to time, but he was one of the Hoth soldiers. The rest of the Hoth soldiers, the ones out in the snow, were actually members of the Norwegian army or something like that. I have it written down here. But they, to thank them, they made like this gigantic, Lucasfilm made like this gigantic donation to the Norwegian Red Cross. Oh, they were rescue skiers is what they were. They weren't military.
Rescue skiers.
But, there's General Veers. I've got his information as well. He played Walter in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Okay.
He's the one who actually he gets the cup and he's the one who drinks from it and stuff like that.
So he's the one who shrinks away.
You chose poorly.
Yeah, I thought you know what? I thought he looked familiar. Maybe.
Also played Grand Maester Pycelle in Game of Thrones. He's like the super old man. He's in Troy and he's in the James Bond movie For Your Eyes Only.
Oh. Do you for Comic-Con, do you want to go me and you as one of those things? You can be the ass.
It's
kind of like going it's kind of like going as a horse, only way cooler. Look at that thing.
Yeah, well, it is so cool. I own one of those. I almost bought the large version, the old Kenner one, but it just skyrocketed in price in my thing.
And it was like a couch or that thing.
What do you
I
mean?
think you should have went with that.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
you
No,
either
I
have a
see what you mean.
couch or that thing's in the living room.
Yeah, well, of course.
See you later, bed. Like, sorry, wifey.
You may start your landing.
Would you rather be a pilot for one of these flying around things or one of those walker? I think those walker things are really dangerous.
Yeah.
And just I don't know. They're too slow.
They are
I
very
feel like
slow,
it'll be very vulnerable in
but
one.
they're super armored. Like they showed, like they're shooting and nothing's happening. The tripping thing. This is what I really liked about The Last Jedi too. They trip them in this one, so naturally, what do? They figure out an engineering way to fix it in the ones in the Last Jedi.
I thought that was like the same when I saw the lightsaber blocker in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
The guy has that blocker, same kind of thing. You know they would be getting technology
He's
to
the first Jedi to not lose his hand.
Yeah.
So
You get a medal for that.
yeah, no
Or
doubt.
a trophy at least.
No doubt. And he's showing off his sexy abs to Rey. It's all good.
That's a medal too.
Boom.
Boom.
But yeah, some other relationships that that good old George Lucas ruined. So Gary Kurtz was the producer after he went over budget and he came in and took over. They never worked on a movie together again. And then Wedge there too, Dennis Lawson, who is Ewan McGregor's uncle. He wasn't supposed to be in this movie, but people liked him so much in the first one that like there was demand for Wedge.
They
Antilles
just threw him
to
in
just
there
be-
again,
they're
eh?
like, yeah,
That's
you'll be
Ewan
there.
McGregor's uncle?
Yeah.
Oh.
And apparently
Doesn't Ewan... No, he's in one. Never mind. I was going to be... Does he have a cameo in one of those movies?
No, sort of. He
Wasn't
sort
he-
of does.
wasn't he,
His voice is in The Force Awakens when Rey, Rey has that weird hallucination when
Yes.
she gets the thing. You can hear Ewan McGregor saying one of Alec Guinness's lines.
Totally. See?
So you
I
did
know
it.
what the fuck I'm talking about, man.
You know Star Wars better than me, I
Yay.
think.
I don't need, I'm just going to, just like last time, I'm just going to nap out for a while. I'm just going to take my belt off.
Joe,
And
take the wheel.
he's like hyperventilating here with all this information he's got.
See, there's one of the ATSTs. There was originally supposed to be a lot more of them, but they just thought these guys were more menacing and that the other ones were better, like close combat fighting
Right.
things, which is why they're the only ones you see in Return of the Jedi. is you just see the ATSTs.
Oh, look at this guy's been punching himself in the face. He's been falling asleep, and then the thing, you got drunk last night, and he's like, what the hell was I thinking?
He does have a big drunk.
He had no idea. That was his day off. He didn't know there was going to be an attack.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared.
They picked him up off the bar floor, right, and slapped him in one of these things.
Yeah.
Oh, see, look. Oh, why did he have a bloody nose? Was he hit already?
Yeah, I think so. But
Oh my God, Ernest got to them. Paper clips and shit.
It's a good crash. This actually, this scene here was shot the day his son was born. So he like literally came from the hospital to shoot this. And he actually breaks his thumb in this scene. So he breaks his thumb the day his son was born.
Oh, no way. He's getting his son out of the back right now. I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Nope,
get my kid out of here.
let him get crushed. It is what it is. But you can always make more babies as long as you
True
haven't had
that,
a
right?
vasectomy.
And you can if you get crushed.
Yeah, exactly.
I like where your head's at.
I'm glad. Are you okay?
Yep.
Oh,
Well, I just had some weird subs coming back on me.
Yeah, it's a bad thing to do is to pout, is to like eat a sub like a duck right before you come and just throw it
I didn't even
out.
chew. I demanded that he start at the other end with a shoehorn
I know.
and smack at it to help it slide its way down.
Yeah, there was like a dead 3PO that was frozen over in the corner. I was like, that must be four, but there he is. See,
I missed it.
they might get the long shot
I don't
again.
want to see something like that. God damn it.
Give the evacuation.
Does every movie she's got something new with her hair, or she always wear her hair like
Yeah,
that?
constantly. See there, it keeps there. You just keep to the left.
I keep looking at her gorgeous hair. What do you want from me?
Beautiful. So yeah, Lawrence Kasdan. This was the first script that was actually made into a movie for him, but the first one he was hired to do was Raiders of the Lost Ark. So he made that one first, then this one, but then they came out in the opposite order.
Oh, he wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah.
Right on, buddy.
Oh, he's got a pretty interesting one. He wrote and directed The Big Chill.
That's a good movie.
He wrote and directed Silverado. He wrote and directed The Accidental Tourist. He wrote The Bodyguard. He wrote Wyatt Earp.
No shit.
He wrote The Force Awakens, and he wrote Solo, a Star Wars story that's coming out.
Oh, ooh, I can't wait to see that one, man. That one's got all the controversy.
He also wrote and directed Dreamcatcher, that really shitty
Awful.
Stephen King.
That's why I know that name. Yep. What a terrible movie.
And he was in one of the doctors in As Good as It Gets, as well as Harold Ramis.
Oh.
I guess Jim Brooks was just getting his director friends to come hang out.
So he really has obviously a handle on the whole Star Wars lore if they asked him to come back for Force Awakens, right?
Exactly. Well, they knew this was people's favorite movie. So they were like, well,
they
why not
hooked
get
up-
the guy who,
right.
you know?
Did he write two scripts? Because I remember JJ saying that there was two scripts. One of them had all the old characters in it, like kind of integrated, and one of them was all new. And they eventually did, just before kind of like, before crunch time, they were like, okay, we'll go with this one.
They were probably developing the story before they confirmed everybody was going to be there, so they needed to make sure they had a version that went without them. So yeah, I'm sure it was probably the same script with just like those guys' lines given to other people, or like for exposition or whatever.
Right.
The other thing though about Lawrence Kasdan, he's Jake Kasdan's father, and he was a producer on Freaks and Geeks, Walk Hard, the new Jumanji, and who actually also directed. So he's got $1 billion movie out himself.
Wait, that looks like the Cobra Commander of Star Wars guys.
The Imperial Snowtroopers look badass.
I'm going to tell you by the end of this who I would like to be.
Okay.
If I had all the money.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's somebody on Jabba's thing.
Yeah. Salacious Crumb? Oh.
Probably. Oh my God, yes. I like the guy on the keyboard.
Max Rebo.
Because I had that toy too. I'd probably be Max Rebo.
That would be a good one, but that would be a hard, how hot you'd be in that in June, because it would be probably
Buddy,
like a latex
you know what?
something
You got to pay to play, bro.
It would smell like the inside of that tauntaun.
Yeah. If I got to pass out, in the middle of Comic-Con,
this
so be it.
reminds me a lot of Rogue One, where it's that chase down into the last thing, and they get away just in time as Vader shows up.
Yeah, they seem to be doing that with the new ones. I'm really interested to see where Ryan Johnson's going to go with the 3 new ones.
Yeah.
Brand new.
I'm curious. And you heard as well, Jon Favreau is directing and
a live action
writing
TV.
which is going to be on the Disney streaming service.
Writing and, oh, Jesus Christ, that's all Disney needs now, right?
Yeah.
We need to jump on board? Disney's podcast channel.
I'm down with that.
Oh, yeah.
If
Imagine
Disney
that.
wanted
They send
to
us all this swag.
If Disney wanted to hire me for literally anything, I would be on board.
You're their orphan killer.
Oh no.
Like you're taking in the back. We're done with this one. Boom.
I'll do it. Don't get me wrong, but like, just it wasn't
Sorry,
ideal.
little Timmy.
But there's something about it. I know, like, you know, even like at Disney World, like the hump jobs suck and all that kind of thing.
The hump jobs.
No, you know what I mean. Like
Somebody's got to go get Pluto off, or he'll be humping the kids.
No, but I'm talking like
Jesus.
like the janitorial things and stuff like that.
So what?
But even that, no. But I'm just saying, like
Why, you
even
hate
when I
janitors?
went, no. What I'm saying is, even when I was there, I was sitting there for something, and one of the janitors came up and just started talking to me and giving me tips about the park, and I'm just like even at that level, everybody is super friendly and super
he's like
awesome.
He's like, hey, you seem to be sitting there. He's like, you know what? You should go kill me. You need to go down the road there, and you need to get an ice cream cone. Get me out of here, please. I'll pay anything.
Yeah, no, but it was just like that's just what I always find there is everybody like you don't get that everywhere. You're told to be like that everywhere. Like you go to Canada's Wonderland and stuff like that. You're gonna tell me you're gonna find somebody like that behind a counter? Not a
No,
chance.
hells no.
You like literally everybody is a moment from killing themselves.
I still like your orphan killing position at thing where you don't want to do
problem.
it. Phone rings. You better pull that kid's brains out, huh? Are you fired? You're like, oh, Mickey, please.
Yeah.
I'm coming down there.
No, I wouldn't even say please. I'd just be like, oh man, all right. Like, let's get to her. Pitter patter, let's get at her, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like when cops get a bad call. They're like, oh, there's a chance I might get shot at during this one, but it's my duty. I got to do what I got to do for the
It's
greater
my
good, right?
house.
Right. Oh, this is,
You notice in the one scene before his leg is silver?
yeah.
Just one piece of his leg?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite lines in this whole movie. Shut him up or shut him down. It's just good rhythm, good poetry.
People say that to me and about me all the time.
Yeah, as I was about
Or
to say.
shut him down. Oh, look at this close call.
Yeah. I don't think you can take invasive action that close. I love the
You know what?
scale of those things.
I haven't seen this movie in forever, man. I don't remember nothing.
I've seen it all the time.
Oh my god, it's running through your brain like at all times.
I'm halfway through watching it the last time I watched it. Like we're watching it
Right.
again. It's like I watch it, you know, like when you do row your boat in a round. That's how I watch Star Wars movies. I'm like halfway through the other one.
You're overlapping them. He's got two TVs.
Yeah.
He starts Star Wars and then 30 minutes in he starts Star Wars on the other one.
For the record, I have 3 TVs. So.
Oh, well, sorry.
I have one of the trilogies going on each one.
The alluvial dampers. Is he just saying shit or did someone tell him to say that?
Well, I'm sure
Bring me the hydro spanner.
I'm sure somebody said something. I think that's the exact hole that Ray is in. when
That's
they're fixing-
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. So
Hydro spanner sounds like something that you need. A hydro line has been spliced or something, and you need to divert some hydro.
Yeah, makes sense. I think it's essentially a wrench. It sounds very much like a Doctor Who thing.
Yeah.
So we're in this asteroid field. There's 2 really interesting things about the asteroid. One of the asteroids, as we start to see it, you don't see it in this version, but you see one of the asteroids is a shoe. And the reason being is because after watching the dailies over and over again, George Lucas kept making them redo it because it's just the asteroids. It was like, no, there's too many. You got to make it so they could possibly fly through it. Okay, now it's too sparse. And they kept doing it. So they were just like, fuck it. And they threw a shoe in the background and then it made it to the thing. But it's since been
I wonder if he
remastered.
noticed it. He was just like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah, probably. He's like, I'm not having another heart attack over a shoe.
Yeah, like, fuck it. Another floating shoe.
And then I've never found it on here, but one of them is a potato.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
I'll find your
No, I think we've
goddamn
already passed it.
potato.
Yeah, I think
One's a potato. I love it when the shoes and it's like perfect.
yeah. So
Maybe Lucas has some weird thing where as long as there's a shoe there, his mind doesn't even register it, but then he's happy. You know what I mean?
It's a weird mental
Yeah,
disease.
like he doesn't even know. Like, put that shoe there. You forgot to put the shoe in the corner, you moron. Oh yeah,
Shoe-nesthesia.
yeah.
All right, I'm down with that.
Shoe. Foot fetish. What do you call it when you have a foot fetish?
Foot fetish?
Pedophilia.
Pedophilia?
Pedophilia. It's different.
Yeah.
Boom.
I disagree. I don't think it's different.
Bam.
Bam is right.
Look at these guys flying.
I love watching the Millennium Falcon fly. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, again, everything that happens in space in any of these movies are like bullshit, but it's like, it's
still cool.
It's so like well done and so beautiful to look at. Like
They got this at Disney coming at Disney now? We're driving
yeah,
Falcon? Or
yeah,
what?
you'll be able to be in the Millennium Falcon. There's a full size one and there's a
I wonder
ride
if you
that
can
somehow.
shoot.
Well, that's
Like if
the
you can
thing.
go in the cockpit and shoot dudes.
I don't understand what exactly is going to happen with it because they said something about some kind of simulation or something like that. But I don't know how you do that where you got a bunch of people. So I mean,
They should have where somebody's got to be like, who's gonna drive?
yeah.
Who's Han? You're Chewie. You're in the chair.
But that's the
you
pro-
get in the. You guys get to sit in the back. You know, because what's it called in Back to the Future was only like 4 people sitting in the car.
Yeah, but they didn't all have roles, right? You just sat there and watched what
Well,
was happening.
no, but you would get a quick, while you're going through the lineup, you would get like, so there'll only be a few things to do, and it's on rails anyways, right? So,
Yeah.
if you let go of the thing, it'll still go.
Yeah.
But,
Well-
you'll feel a little like, pull up, you'll have to like
That
really
would
give her and then put it into hyperdrive,
That would have been really
Wow.
cool. Still, for my money, Star Tours is one of my favorite rides.
That
at
was
Disney.
mine as well. I was at Disney so long ago, and that tour, that ride, I thought I was going to Ralph.
Yeah.
Like during, I was like, oh my God. But it was awesome.
They've updated the ride probably twice since you've been there too, because
Really?
there's Force Awakens stuff in it now.
Oh, sweet.
So it's
Oh, yeah. I forgot about this guy.
What?
There he is. He just landed. Well, it took him a while to get there, right? I guess.
Yeah,
What a fucking dump. That's what he just said.
yeah.
I'm learning how to speak R2.
Look at this shitberg.
They're in the bog of eternal stench.
I would like to actually see some of the versions of this where, because the characters, not so much with R2, but with Chewbacca and some of the other ones, and Vader with a different guy inside and stuff, they would say their lines. It's fun to listen to that because it's all muffled and it's like, but you can kind of make out.
Oh,
what
when
they're saying.
he's saying it inside the.
But like Chewbacca, for example, is saying lines. He's not just going. Rah, rah. He's like, he's like, I don't think you should do that, right? And then like,
And then
Han
they add
responds to it.
right.
So, see, that was one of those other shots that made people think something was wrong with it. Like his lip looks really fucked up here. It's got a big fat lip.
Well, he's getting
Stuff like
pushed
that.
around, man.
Apparently-
George Lucas is a bully.
Apparently, I think it was this shot, where it was just like the close-up stuff with R2 was actually shot in George Lucas's unfinished pool.
No way.
He's like in the mud bog. He's just like,
That's so crazy how they can just do that right in the backyard in the pool and then
well, it's not,
oh,
you
yeah,
know.
just jump right in. Don't even test the water out or anything.
Yeah, I know. Especially after
Holy
being
fuck! Like
especially after being like sucked underwater in the first one, like in the
Yeah.
in the garbage compactor.
it could be like because he is a robot there, bud. So like you just jump in, you could have just lost your lower half.
or it could be just pure acid.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just yeah. See, that's bog. See that? I see that little fart move there.
Oh yeah. Is that the bog of
Just
eternal
Ludo
stench?
should have been standing. Ludo, he should have been standing there watching them crash.
Apparently, when making the movie, because they went so over budget because of presumably because of Gary Kurtz, they had to go to Fox for a little bit of a loan to like just kind of get back on track.
Right.
But they needed to negotiate something. He didn't want to lose the rights or anything like that for any of the stuff. He wanted to stay independent on the whole thing, and he got like a killer deal. So he basically got everything he wanted and gave up nothing, and it ended up causing Alan Ladd Jr., who was like the head of the studio, to quit
Holy
over the whole
shit.
deal. And that's why George Lucas shot what's it called, Indiana Jones with Paramount, because they were like basically that was his guy at Fox, and then now he's gone. So he's
Just
like
ruining people's lives there, Lucas.
he's literally just like he took a lightsaber and just took it to every bridge.
Holy
it was-
fuck, eh?
Like this did a lot of harm for him in a way that made him a billionaire.
But the first one made a shit ton of money and it warranted a sequel. So why were people so like,
well,
I don't want to make this movie.
No,
this movie,
no, it was nobody was like that. That's the thing. He wanted independence, so he did it on his own.
Okay,
So
yeah,
he's
you
like,
didn't want like,
yeah.
oh yeah.
So they explain exactly what this is. I was doing some research on this, and it's essentially just a hyperbaric chamber that like pumps in oxygen at like heavier than the air pressure, so he
Right.
can actually breathe without his mask on for a minute.
Right.
But then it's like
We
if
can
you-
hang out in the little bubble. He's like
Yeah,
a bubble
exactly.
boy.
Well, it probably stinks in there, right? So he takes it off. Like I picture he's got like a toothbrush and some Dawn, and he's like giving it a
he's-
scrub.
Yeah, who does clean out his helmet?
Well, he has to be him because he can't take it off.
You know
around
that
anybody else.
scene right there when he comes in, he's getting his helmet. That's sort of like when you accidentally walk in and your mom and she's putting her bra on.
Oh my god, does that come up with you a lot?
Accidentally, yep.
Yeah, accidentally daily.
All the time. 5, 4 to 6. Look at this.
Yeah. It's wonderful. So Harrison Ford here. So I guess they officially announced the new Indiana Jones is shooting in the spring.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, they're doing it. Spielberg's doing another one.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll see how it goes.
I think it's gonna be good. I didn't mind the last one, other than the monkeys and the
There was
the fridge and Shia LaBeouf.
I actually didn't mind the nuke the fridge thing. I mean, it was cheesy. But
Well,
it
you
was
know, right?
it
When
was
you see
right
the
kind
fridge is getting nuked, what type of movie is this, right?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Then you should be able to accept the
Yeah.
aliens. At
I
the
thought, me and my buddy Hitman, we watch that all the time. All the time, we're just like, hey, you want to watch Indiana Jones and Crystal Skull? I'm like, yep, fucking A.
I think that you could probably cut that one down. Take a little bit of Shia LaBeouf out of it.
He's not going to be in the next one, is he?
No,
He
probably
didn't
not.
shit talk Spielberg, that little motherfucker.
Yeah, you fucked up, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So the two things I don't shit talk. I don't shit talk Disney. I don't shit talk Spielberg.
I would never shit talk Spielberg, but I have been known to shit talk Disney.
Yeah, but I have no reason to do either. It was like,
Neither do I. I still do it.
yeah,
It's fun.
I love it.
Especially when you do it in song form.
Yeah.
You know what I just saw not long on the weekend was Moana.
Yeah,
I really liked it, actually.
I love Moana.
You know what the thing too was, like, it was like a musical, but it wasn't like, I liked it. I liked the musical numbers because it's just one person or two people singing a song out on the water. It's not like the whole town is singing.
But it was powerful. Like the whole thing was really good. I've seen.
Rock had a pretty good singing voice too.
Yeah, The Rock is good at literally anything he does, and it's kind of starting to get on my
It
nerves.
is. It's disgusting.
It's just like, ugh.
Anything.
I'd like him, actually, though, saying all that, I'd kind of like him to be the next Terminator.
You think?
Stop Arnie being the Terminator.
Make it The Rock.
And make it The Rock. He's the next one up.
Can he be not charismatic? Because you need a certain type of charisma to be the Terminator, but not like The Rock's overflowing charisma bin.
I picture him being like kind of in like Terminator Salvation. What's his face?
There he
Yeah,
is.
no, Yoda's the fucking best. Simon Pegg tells a great story. He showed his daughter this movie when she was 3, and then like she saw him again or something like that in something else, and he's like, he's real, and it just made him start crying. And I'm like, I know exactly what that means. I showed a scene of Jurassic Park to Reese, who's my 2-year-old son.
Right.
And it's the scene when they first see the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And he sees
I
it.
think
and
I just came over when that happened.
It just happened as you were walking through the door. And he was just like, and like Carrie just started crying. Like it was so emotional. It was like, because it's exactly that moment you want as a parent for those big movie moments. Abby had the moment in the big reveal in this movie, and she was like, oh, like, and I'm like, yes, it's exactly what I want.
So when he saw a big dinosaur, he was like, whoa.
So can we talk about Frank Oz for a
No.
moment? Well, I'm gonna anyways.
All right.
This role was actually originally offered. I know this is
He little Yoda bomb. Look at him.
they make him so
Get
playful.
outta there.
Like he's so fun.
His
in this
dirty
role.
feet too.
I know. But like this is what was missing from him in the prequels. Like he was like this in The Last Jedi. He was very playful and kind of like haha, like whatever, right? But yeah, Jim Henson was offered this role originally because George Lucas and him were friends.
Right.
And then he said he couldn't do it because he was doing The Great Muppet Caper, I think it was. And so he said, you should get Frank Oz. He's like, he's the one to do it. So anybody who doesn't know, he was actually born Frank Osnowitz. Like that's kind of like the weird like superhero fake name. But he was one of the originating members of the Jim Henson Workshop. He voiced Cookie Monster, Bert, Grover, Miss Piggy, Animal, Sam Eagle, and Fozzie.
Oh, he's the
And
man.
that was in order.
Oh yeah, he's the man.
So he was in American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
He was in and directed Dark Crystal. He was in Trading Places, Superman 3, Spies Like Us, Labyrinth, Monsters Inc. He was in all the prequels as Yoda. He was in Zathura. He was in Inside Out.
I like Zathura.
Zathura was all right, yeah. And then obviously he was in The Last Jedi also as Yoda. He wrote Muppets Take Manhattan.
That's the best one.
That's my favorite one. And he also directed it. He directed, like I said, Dark Crystal, Little Shop of Horrors, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, What About Bob, Bowfinger, The Score, Stepford Wives, and he's got a new thing out which I really want to see. They financed and they put this out themselves. It's not like on Netflix or anything. It's a documentary called Muppet Guys Talking. And it's people who, it's like it's Muppet performers from kind of over the generations.
Right. I think I've seen something about this.
Yeah, if you go online, if you look it up online, they've got a website for it. You can like
I didn't know what it was though.
you can buy it online on their website, and they and then you can get like unlimited download and streaming for it and stuff like. It's kind of the way Louis C.K. did his comedy specials. Mm-hmm. It's the only thing that's similar to Louis C.K. Yeah.
Did underlined.
Mm-hmm. I get
it's
it.
been.
So somebody else we missed, another weird uncredited role. Treat Williams was one of the troops at Echo
Oh
Base.
my god!
He's just like one of the guys. I've never seen him in this. It's just he's in the credits.
Have we watched a Muppet movie yet?
No,
We haven't.
no.
Huh.
I do Manhattan, eh?
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
I do Manhattan. I do Muppet Caper for one reason: that I got the paper towels because he's like the
It's
best.
the man.
It's amazing.
Oh, here we go.
And it's like the original Simpsons when it comes to like the voice actors and stuff. Because
Yeah.
like 4 guys who do everything, right?
Ooh, she's got a bad attitude. This one.
Yeah.
I like ladies with a bad attitude.
I know it. But what also kills me too with the Muppet guys is how well they replace each other. Like
Like,
the
well,
guy,
I can't show up, so this guy's gonna do it.
well, like when Frank Oz stopped doing the Muppets,
Right.
another guy took over all but one of his roles.
Yep.
And like Miss Piggy still sounds like Miss Piggy. Fozzie
Yep,
still sounds
yep.
like Fozzie. Like it's not even like
I can
remember
hear
when
the difference, but it's
Yeah.
it's so close that
Yeah.
it's like,
But like you remember when Mel Blanc stopped doing Bugs Bunny and somebody else did, and it
Yeah.
was clearly different.
oh yeah,
Like it's negligible with the Muppets. It's
I
like
agree.
they picked the right people.
Yes,
to do
they
the
did.
Jobs. It's like when Jim Henson died, the guy who took over Kermit. And all
or
those
like
other guys.
or like when they busted Elmo there,
Yeah,
flawless, a flawless bust.
Yeah,
Jesus,
exactly.
that guy had it coming for a long time.
he ended up being found not guilty of that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that
Oh,
ended
good for
up,
him.
that ended up not being
For that
a thing.
guy.
Sir.
Then you got your hand up a kid's puppet's
Yeah.
ass all day long. People start to take,
Yeah,
they start to think things.
yeah. I don't know.
Did
What's
they just
come of
kiss
it
there and
since.
they were busted, or are they about to kiss?
Yeah, no, they just got a little bit of something. Like you
Fuck C-3PO, way to go.
Yeah. So the C and C-3PO stands for cock block.
It's like, what's her name?
That's a fact.
Joan Rivers in Spaceballs.
That was my original one. Spaceballs, another one we have to do.
Like,
I like this one too, where they had the all the holograms and the one guy got killed. So like, you see
is
the
that
one
what
guy
just
go,
happened
"Oh,
there?
yeah." See, he's an admiral now. He was captain.
I can follow him. This guy's, what do they called out there? They're not the Space Navy. What the hell are they? Look at that little guy.
They're the Imperial Navy.
The Imperial Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the look of that specific ship because it's got like the blue lights across the side and stuff like that. So we're watching the remastered version, obviously, but so this is the version where Ian McDiarmid is in it. He is not in the original version.
That's right.
He was played by a man named Clive something. I gotta hear.
I can dig the idea of replacing him.
There were a lot
I mean,
of
like,
things.
still a pointless waste of fucking money, but I mean, like, if you're gonna put
No.
something in or replace something, that makes sense because he's the guy who plays him later, right?
Well, and they did the same thing with Boba Fett's voice and stuff like that. Those ones I agree with. If you want to keep a continuity that goes through the whole thing and say this is one complete story, then these are necessary. And they actually changed a lot of the dialogue here to match with the prequels. And and Ian McDiarmid, I don't care what you think about the prequels. Ian McDiarmid is amazing in all 3 of them.
I agree. He's a good Palpatine, right?
So good.
Yeah.
And it's like for me in Revenge of the Sith, just flawless because he takes in like everything about the Force is like kind of like a sexual perversion to him, where he's like, he's sitting there, he's like, I feel your anger. He's like, ooh,
Oh, he's
like,
loving
so
it,
good.
yeah.
It's like tweaking a nip, like just like he's so good. But Clive Revel was the name of the guy who he replaced, but it makes perfect sense to me. And the other version looked weird too, like his face was all fucking weird, and it was just.
Where's Yoda from originally? Where's the Yoda race?
They don't say ever where he's from, but there is one more member of his race, and I think we talked about this before. Yaddle is a member of in episode 1. You can see Yaddle in the Jedi Council room. There's
Right.
There's another one just who's sitting there, and it's a female one who's got like a little tuft of hair.
This
and stuff.
looks
It's
like
a
Buddy's hut from the Neverending Story.
Yeah,
That's a thing full of worms.
yeah.
Eat.
Yeah, so this is tough because all of the sets on Dagobah are raised 5 feet off the ground because Frank Oz
Because
is
he can get his
underneath.
hand up there, right?
Yeah, so he's standing up and walking
Yeah.
around and doing everything. But so this like leaves Mark Hamill alone for like a month. It took 180 days to shoot this, longer than any of the other movies. Yeah, because they had to go all over the world to shoot this one. It wasn't just like
Holy shit.
So this was a big one, and the Dagobah stuff was really daunting. And especially for Mark Hamill, who's literally the only person on the call street.
Well, yeah, whenever you watch like the Jim Henson stuff, it's always like if the sets are raised up, it's like making these puppet movies is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's tough. And so he's got an earpiece in right now so he can hear Frank Oz underneath. So Frank Oz has a mic on him and they're communicating that way. And then Kirshner is giving Yoda directions because he's not underneath thing. And then so Frank Oz kept having to say, hey, you're not talking to me, right? Like I need to hear you down here. You're talking to the puppet on my hand.
Did he just hear? Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did. That hit, they had to do that 16 times before Irvin Kershner was happy.
Oh, I thought you were just about to say like that was an accident and they kept it. But no. Keep slamming your head around.
No, they have to get him. But I really like, this is when you really get the Jedi. And there is this scene he says, and then there's a monologue that he has later that I love. I think it's my favorite thing in all of the Star Wars movies is the little thing he says when he talks about like the Force and stuff like that. I just
was that right now? Is that coming up or what?
It's after when he's teaching him everything. But I like this one too because it's kind of but like to take something that realistically should be so silly, right? To have this puppet with a weird voice and talks weird and stuff like that. He's amazing. So much so that George Lucas spent thousands on an Oscar campaign for him.
What?
Well, they wanted him to be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Well, it's not silly at all.
That's hilarious. Yoda comes up to accept his award. This is in the same realm as I think that Andy Serkis deserves awards.
Well, that's what. Yeah, they didn't.
Same kind of thing,
and it wasn't
right?
nominate Yoda. It was nominate Frank Oz.
Oh, okay. I like nominate Yoda. I was like, what the shit? Like,
yeah, I was sitting there. I'm like, why are you laughing? It's 100% valid.
I thought you
like it's
way better.
No, it's exactly.
I'm not impressed now that you say Frank Oz.
Mm-hmm. But they basically said the same thing that they said about Gollum. They're like, well, you don't see the real person on set, so it doesn't count.
They need to change that.
George Lucas lost his mind, and then Frank Oz didn't really care. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Like, I don't care.
It was a crapshoot anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I love when if you watch the episode 1 making of thing, there's a great scene where you actually see him like just doing the run through because he was still doing the puppet at that time,
right?
And so he's doing all the things, and he's just like, and it's so cool to see him because he's also a director, and you see him and George Lucas kind of going over. He's like, I'm just kind of doing this half speed right now just to show you,
right?
So he's like, I'm saving it obviously, but he's like, I'm just going, and it was so interesting to do. That weird that scream thing that the Minoc does, that creature there, is actually a horse backwards.
I think it looked like a walrus's butthole.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about just the sound.
Yeah, the noise it made, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a horse played backwards.
I don't know how they figure that shit out.
They probably they probably have a database of sound effects.
Just a
like
ton.
Here's a horse, and they're like, what does it sound like if we raise the pitch? No,
it doesn't. How many times it took before they found that one? You know what I mean? Like how many animals they went backwards on, and this and that, and.
Well, there's always a combination. It's just like with like I think Jurassic Park was the best one
dude,
ever. Yeah.
That is exactly what I was just about to talk about.
Yeah. See, it's
like a tiger mixed with like a thing and a squeal. And,
and there's a walrus, a tiger.
Yeah, it's all types of shit morphed together. Yep.
Yeah, all hits one, and it's really interesting to see those things.
You know, you've got a beautiful mind.
I know.
Yeah.
But
get in there.
I don't find me another podcast where the two hosts are this in sync. You
right?
find it. You couldn't even have a podcast about In Sync with two people from In Sync.
Yeah.
And they would be that in sync.
No, they wouldn't.
No.
Could you just say that one more time?
Nope. Not a chance.
His eyes are bleeding. Look into the camera. Put on your 3D glasses now. Oh, I like their little. Oh Jesus. What are these little kites? What are these guys? What are these guys' names? Oh, he got stuck on his gun there. Minox. Is there anything in here that you don't know the name of?
Let's find out.
Okay, well, let's just find out here. This is a drinking game where no drinking gets done. And what happens is you just see, if Joe can't name something from Star Wars, you take a drink. So now what you do is you go put your booze back into the fridge.
Yeah.
And game over.
Yeah. This was actually meant, George Lucas wrote this to be kind of a funny, slapsticky kind of thing, that they were actually inside a creature the whole time. And then he's like, when people actually took it to be like like a good action moment.
Yeah, like,
when,
holy
they get up,
shit,
they're like, whoa,
like-
yeah, and he was like, oh, I wanted that to be funny.
You wanted unanimous laughter in the theater, right?
Well, it was kind of like the way like he wrote Jar Jar Binks to be a comedic character, and then everybody was like, kill him now. He's
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah. I love when he says that Jar Jar was always planned, and then suddenly in the next movie, ain't no Jar Jar to be seen nowhere. So wow, yeah.
Well, he could have always been planned, but then they
said,
they
"Fuck
had
it."
to. Yeah, they're like, well, okay, we got to take his shit out.
Oh God.
It was like,
They look like they have the same kind of thing going on in Solo, only it's like a tentacle monster or something.
yeah.
Rawr.
Thanks, buddy.
That's in the new
like
the
that,
new
but-
cut.
Oh.
Well, it's sort of like he ate and then threw it up, only I guess he took it the one in the other end.
I
What,
guess
they went up
so.
his butt or what? Maybe
Yeah,
they went through his
suppose
open
so.
mouth and then turned around and then came out the same way they went in.
I'm guessing he went through his open mouth. Yeah.
Maybe he's like like a worm where he's got two mouths on either end. That's what I think.
He could be a lot of things. I don't know. We didn't see the other end, so we have nothing.
I got a lot of questions about this guy.
This is very
Here we
weird
go.
Jedi
This is our this is it.
This is.
I was gonna say something, but I don't do it. I don't
Yeah, it's
ruin
done.
anything.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
maybe-
Shut it down.
Yeah, this is not a podcast anymore. This is a serious discussion. but like, can you imagine like any little part of this being different? Like even Yoda's name was originally meant to be Minch Yoda.
Minch?
Was the whole name, and then they just shortened it to Yoda just because it sounds cleaner.
Minch Yoda.
Yeah. I don't know, like Minch Yoda. It
What
sounds
does
like
that mean?
I don't know. It was just his first name. Like he had two names.
Sounds Jewish or something.
Well,
Is George Lucas Jewish?
No,
Spielberg is.
Yeah, but Spielberg had nothing to do with this.
Close enough.
Kirshner, I think, is Jewish.
Yeah.
There
See.
you go.
Yeah.
So he's like Mensch.
Yeah.
You're a real Mensch, Yoda.
Exactly.
I like it.
Cheap. What do you think he lives in that dirty old hut?
That's
He's
fair.
got loads of cash. You know.
I'm fine with that. What was really interesting too, I guess, because being on these sets and stuff were really if you haven't seen the bad lip reading Seagulls music video for this, they do Yoda, and
Right.
it's just all about how there's seagulls everywhere. Have you not seen it?
I think so.
We'll watch it after this because it's one of the funniest things in the world. They've done 3 music videos doing bad lip reading from Star Wars, and they're all so hilarious. They
The
just
same people.
yeah, the company's called Bad Lip Reading,
Right.
and they've done all the movies. They did all the Twilight movies and stuff like that, and like it's so funny. All the Star Wars movies, all the Twilight movies,
Right.
the Hunger Games, like every NFL season, like anything that has people, like the Trump debates. It's so funny what like they can get out of the lip reading, and the lip sync is perfect to what they're saying. It's not like they're just making shit up. Well, they're obviously making shit up, but like it's
But it goes with the lips.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like they thought some stuff up. Unlike us.
I like this. We did mention it before on the radio plays. Yoda is actually played by John Lithgow.
Oh, that's right. I love that man. God, I love that man.
Yeah, I would love to. I feel like he would be so pleasant to meet.
I think so too.
I think he would
Or
just be
awful.
No, I feel like I don't know. I can't.
I think he would
can't
be
see-
great too.
I can't see.
I think
awful.
he's a really humble guy.
I think like at the really inappropriate time, he would just shut it down.
Right.
Like he wouldn't even have time to be rude.
forget
it would just
it,
be
yeah.
like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He's going down to visit Frank Oz finally.
Oh, gee. So why is Yoda here? Is Yoda hiding?
Yoda, if you remember in the prequels, which you don't since you asked, he
Maybe I do.
he
It's
puts
for
yeah.
the
Oh,
others.
this is for the people who don't know. He puts himself in exile
Yes.
after losing to Darth
Darth
Sidious.
Sidious.
And so yeah, he is in hiding. And then
What a sore loser.
right. Well, you got to do what you got to do to stay, keep the Jedi way alive.
Is his planet even like this? Like it's probably like this is
His
probably a
planet-
dump for him.
No, he's probably down with this. Imagine you actually see Yoda's planet in Episode 9.
It's beautiful.
It looks like a big what's the name of the place? Hedonism, the big swingers
Yes,
resort.
yeah.
He's just those little guys are just fucking
Bunch
everywhere.
of naked Yodas all over. Dirty old green bunny rabbits.
So they made a bunch of changes, I guess, in the theatrical version. They really wanted to make sure you knew it wasn't Darth Vader. So his lightsaber was orange, and
As a kid, I had a problem with this scene.
Yeah.
This scene freaked the shit out of me.
it is something. So you can even see it's still not even as brilliant red as normal.
I just
but
think
his voice is all like his breathing is off. And
I
stuff
just think
like that.
because of the way, the choppiness here, that's, I'm now They would call me an adult.
Yeah. It's arguably
Not if you
the
saw me
most,
from the waist down.
Yeah.
But
it's arguably the most violent moment that happens in the original trilogy.
but you know the way this scene is, it kind of has a dream quality to it
Yeah.
suddenly with this choppy kind of a right there. It gives you away too, right? That it's a thing. But at first I thought he was there.
Yeah.
Well, as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand their little wipes and the
and
whatever,
the idea of what
the
he's trying to do.
symbolism and the fucking this and that.
And that was kind of another reason that he comes here too, is because he knows there's a strong dark side thing, and he like challenges himself with it. I would love to be like just a TIE fighter patroller just flying around. With
I know, man. I'm gonna go as a TIE fighter, I think, to Comic-Con.
Nice.
I can't even fit my costume in the door.
My favorites. We got all of the amazing guys here. This is Bosk
Look at this guy.
and Zuckuss and
Get
Boba
your big
Fett.
nasty toenails out of my face, bro.
Yeah, I know. Don't be a dickhead about it.
You think that guy molts?
So, there's Zuckuss and
these
yeah,
guys.
it's all good. There's such great characters, and you barely see them. There's IG.
There's the guy. Is that who you're going
Or
as?
IG-88. I mean,
Him?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised. I thought you were gonna say Boba Fett.
No. I don't want to be covered. It's too hot. I don't want to be all covered up, like face mask and all this stuff like that. I have no interest. And I like
Okay, well, who is it?
and
Okay,
I
don't
also-
say yet, but
no, and I also like interacting with people. If people are going to come up and say, "Hey, nice costume," I don't want to be masked and go, "Thank you."
you just flip them the bird and you keep one. They're like, "Oh, that's Boba Fett for you."
Like when you go, you will realize the one thing that sucks the most is there's 99 Deadpools.
Oh yeah.
And the range of costumes go from like pajamas to good costume.
Right.
And it's just like, hey, I'm going to act up. Like here's me in a
gonna
chimichanga. And it's just like, because everybody's like, oh, I'm so good at being Deadpool. It's just
And they all think it.
it's the most,
I want to
me, it's
see the
closest
girls.
thing to a hack.
I like the girls like Power Girl,
There
and like
weren't a
when you
ton-
see like
There weren't a ton of great girls in our thing. To find the best ones, go to San Diego Comic-Con's website and just like click through them.
right.
They're all there.
Yeah, some of those costumes are fucking. I saw Groot on one of those. That was like, holy shit, man! It was like Groot was there.
Groot was. They had a Groot at our Comic-Con, and he was like a solid 9 feet tall. He was on mini stilts, and it was like,
Sweet, that's what I'm talking about.
really
You want
good.
some guy in his pajama pants just saying Deadpool quotes.
oh man.
I'm Deadpool out of the gear, aren't I, cheeky? You know.
It's very fun
No.
to see the range, though, of some people who are like, I'm going to really do it, and they're just not good at anything. So then it's like they're just wearing a cardboard box that says Star Wars on it. He's like, what are you?
love
I'm Star Wars.
That would be the best.
That's what my.
I am Star Wars.
That's what I've said. Do you know my most?
Well, one scene, a character?
yeah,
No.
no, just
No,
the
Star
concept.
Wars.
The concept. He's like, so if you say Luke Skywalker, that's me. If you say Dagobah, that's also me. See, you didn't see him doing this with the
Yes.
younglings in the prequels.
Nope. Oh, R2D2 must be so fucking bored.
Yeah, I know, right?
God, he's like, I'm covered in mud. I'm
He
all
doesn't even
grossed
have hands
out.
to jerk it with.
I know.
His little
That's
like,
why he's got
his little
C-3POs
robo
there
arm comes
for
out and
him.
is like, "Diggy-diggy-diggy." Is that a potato as well?
Is that new?
No,
That's
no,
new.
it's not new. It's a rock. It's fine.
It's,
Just
it's a new rock.
Calm down.
Lucas was like, this rock is not, it's not, I'm not feeling this rock.
No,
It doesn't scream Dagobah.
it does not scream Dagobah.
Concentrate. Oh, he's like, fuck, I left my sandwich in there, Yoda.
Fucking Yoda sandwich.
Look at all the little squirrely hairs on him. That's a cool shot.
Yeah,
That could be a cool, right there, t-shirt.
nice.
Boom.
Boom. Like what? He should be wearing a t-shirt? That should be a
No,
t-shirt?
that could be on a t-shirt,
Oh,
man.
okay.
We should start doing that.
I'm not going to
I'm going to remember these scenes. And we're going to go to that t-shirt place and we'll get all types of them made up.
We're
of
not going
contests.
back
Look
to
at
that
that's a
t-shirt place.
sweet. No, fuck
That
those
costs
guys,
you way
man.
too much goddamn money.
Oh, I hope that when Mr. Riches wears the shirt, people are like, man, that's the coolest shirt I've ever seen.
I hope that's true, right?
How did you get two of the ugliest motherfuckers onto one t-shirt?
Why? Where's the other one? It's not me.
Yeah, he's looking good.
See, this to me, it's very much reminds me of the Matrix scene where it's basically, you can do this. Like once somebody tells me, oh yeah, by the way, this is totally a thing you're able to do, then I have the confidence to do it. They're like, oh, they said I could do it. Solid.
He doesn't even
Right?
believe. He's like, you should be able to do that.
What?
He's like,
That
he's
would've
actually doing it.
That would have been the best. He actually successfully
my
does it.
God.
He's like, motherfucker, I did not think that was going to
Holy
happen.
shit, right there. That's the scene with his hand out.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember that. I gotta remember that.
So this movie, it was the number one movie of 1980.
No shit.
Yeah. It was number one. I'm just looking now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11. It was 11 out of 13 weeks at number one.
Wow. So what's
And it
Black Panther right now? 5, 6?
5, yeah. It's at 5.
And that's a big deal. So this one was like, holy shit. What was up
Yeah.
against?
Let's find out. So, but anyways, it was number one for the first 2 weeks, number 3 of the third week. Then it was number one for the next 9 straight weeks. Then it went down to number 2. So I think that's when it left.
Right.
It was just like, okay, we've proved our point.
Okay, we're leaving.
We're on.
Sometimes the party goes on for too long and you're like, I don't want to be top dog at this party anymore. I'm going.
So opening weekend, it came out the same time as The Shining.
Ooh. Hey.
To show you how few movies. Well, they shot this on the same studio.
There
too.
you go. Yep. I was like, I knew there was some kind of a Shining Star Wars.
Yeah, actually, an interesting thing about that too, I had read. Stephen King visited the set of The Shining and then came over and visited this set, met Irving Kershner and had conversations. Years later, he goes on to write It, who features a character named Mrs. Kirsch, who talks a bit like Yoda.
No way.
So and
he ended up
Kershner's
doing
name-
Dreamcatcher. Didn't you say he did Dreamcatcher?
Yes, he did do
Yeah.
Dreamcatcher, which Lawrence Kasdan wrote and
I guess you
directed.
just let Stephen King in at that point, right? You're like, hey, Stephen
Yeah.
King just is hanging around. You're like, fucking hey, bring him in.
Well, that was like what happened with Force Awakens. They were so secretive, yet every person had been on the set.
Yeah.
It was like, I think just
Everybody
and
but
me.
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
dude, I wasn't supposed to tell you. Check these pictures out.
son of a bitch.
Me on set.
Oh no.
I kill you.
You were on car plot?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wasn't supposed to tell you.
Nothing would make me more upset in my entire life.
I know,
than
that's
to
why I
find
said it.
out. Man,
I really wish that was the truth. Damn it, and I could unveil it right now.
No, you know
on
what? I would-
live TV.
I would. It's not live. I don't know how to explain to you any better how live is. But so yeah, this is.
It's live to the camera.
We actually missed my favorite part because we were talking about the box office
schmoopy.
movie. No, it's that bit where he's talking about how the force is all around us, and he's like, "Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter," and like
Say
that
it.
sort of thing.
Say the whole thing right
I'm
now.
not gonna say the whole thing.
Do
I
it.
don't, because I don't do it justice, and I don't want
You don't even know, bro.
to. Don't reverse psychology me.
You should.
I'm way better at this.
Oh,
shit.
we got a little popple crackle
Yeah.
there. I'm too close.
Well, don't laugh because I'm so awesome.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
I will tell you how to live your life.
Who's doing this?
What?
R2.
Yoda.
R2's like, dude, look at how easy this is.
That's the
God, he's like, you're not even paying attention, Luke.
He's the most powerful. Everything that has gone on, even all the emperors, he's the main bad guy.
It's R2. Yep.
And nobody can wrap their heads around it.
Just like new, huh, Luke? Yep. He's like,
This-
"Woo."
Now, I mean, for what it's worth, this is a better religion than most religions.
Not Scientology.
True. Well, I think Scientology took a lot from this. And
I don't
just
need my
added
money.
volcanoes.
Anyways, I'm glad somebody should take it.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
gonna spend it on drugs.
But like just these like little bits of, and like even like the idea of when people die and stuff, they're like, don't mourn them. He's like, they've become the world again. Like, be happy.
Yeah,
about
they're
that.
back. See, that's what it's supposed to be. Funerals are. Ooh, Jesus, that looked like
That looked like it hurt the knees.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
totally.
It's like a steel great. That's probably what he's like up. He's like, why did you make me
Oh
do
man,
it?
he's like, yeah, what the shit? Oh, there goes on. See, this. Who wants to work for this guy?
I know.
Is it too late?
Yeah.
He's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's too late. I'm already here. Or do you think
Yeah.
before, even in the academy, they're like, oh fuck, this guy's a dick.
I'm gonna have to be
Like,
doing it. Well, it was basically if you wanted, like, people were kind of probably conscribed into it too, right?
probably
Where
they
they're
probably took whole towns, forced whole towns
Yeah.
in, and you were born here. Yeah, wasn't Finn born there?
Finn was born. Well, he was. I don't know where he was born, but he was taken into the system.
Right.
and,
So,
like,
so he was there for a long time.
Yeah, he was there from like baby age.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and then just trained. And
Bummer. Well, they're pretty friggin' big, these things. What are their dimensions of? Do you have the real dimensions of one of these
The
things?
real
What are they
dimensions
supposed
I
to
don't
be?
honestly know, but I mean, each one would probably carry like 10,000 people.
They're huge. It looks like
It's big. It's larger
It's like a
than
city.
It's larger than any cruise ship. Like the Queen Mary 2 would be like half the size.
I
of
think.
this
Yeah,
movie.
I think Queen Mary 2 would be way smaller than that for some reason.
Well, but I'm just picturing because I mean, this thing's about. I think they said the Millennium Falcon's about 65 feet. So use that
Okay.
as some kind of scale. It's on like the tip of it, kind of, right? So I mean, Todd's doing some arm math right now. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I'm like,
4.
if that's the tip,
Yeah, just the tip.
okay, then how many across? Maybe 4, but then it would
No, a
kind of go
lot more than
6,
4.
8, 12, right? Because it keeps
Yeah.
getting wider and wider.
Yeah.
We need math. We need Star Wars
We need
math.
It's probably something that we could easily look up.
I'll bet it is.
Let me hey Google it.
Yeah.
Hey Google, It's not doing it.
Hello,
Fucking-
Joe.
Hey Google.
Stop asking me Star Wars related things, Joe.
Oh, it's not Hey Google. It's Okay Google. I fucked it up. How big is a Star Destroyer in Star Wars? Oh, it didn't take it. How big is a Star Destroyer in Star Wars?
According to Wikipedia, at 1,600 meters long, Imperial-class Star Destroyers are armed with turbolasers, ion cannons, and tractor beam projectors.
Okay Google. Thanks, baby.
No, thank you,
You're
sweet
welcome.
cheeks.
You can call me Google Assistant.
Oh, me too.
No
you.
shit. Okay, so there's, what did she say, 1,600 meters?
Yes, so it's
What is
1.6
that?
kilometers, which is like
1.6 kilometers long.
it's over a mile long.
Wow. That's way bigger than a
Yeah.
fucking cruise ship.
Yes.
Who?
I don't, but I don't know. I've never been on a big cruise ship.
Yeah, well,
so
the ships I'm on are about 900 feet.
Okay.
I cannot see one of those being that much longer. They're taller and they're fat. But
Yeah.
maybe even 2,000 feet ain't no fucking
Yeah.
mile. Mm-hmm. Woo!
I really like this ship too. This is Boba Fett's ship, the Slave One.
Hey, that looks like something from something else. Like maybe Guardians of the Galaxy or
Thanks.
something. Like,
Probably. It looked like Star-Lord's face in the back. Like with the
kinda
with
did.
the
I've
the
seen that
boosters.
thing somewhere else. Oh, now he's got the coolers. He's
Did
got
you
it with
see the new
coolers up.
Avengers trailer?
I did.
That was really cool. I like when
Whoa!
when Star-Lord was like, "Okay, your idea was not good." To us, Tony Stark is like,
Yeah.
"How about you let me make the ideas, and then so our ideas will be better." Like,
Yeah, he's like, your idea
it's
sucks.
just like it's really good. That was.
I hope the
perfect-
whole thing isn't about fucking Tony Stark's, man.
No. Well,
I saw him front and center on the poster and I was like, oh my God, come on.
like all of these movies, they always need like as much as you don't think a movie would need it. A movie always needs kind of a central guy.
I know,
Not
and
that,
it's going to be
like-
Tony Stark.
Well, of course, it has been the whole time. Why would they change it now?
Oh my God, there's so many characters.
Yeah.
You'd think it would be Guardians of the Galaxy would be closer to Thanos than anybody else.
Yeah.
So maybe the lead-in would be them, but no, of course it's going to be after Tony Stark's arc reactor or whatever.
Well, it's because they have more of the
The stones.
stones. Because they have Vision, and then they've got
Doctor Strange has one.
Thor has one. Thor and Loki
No, they gave
have
them
one.
to the. They gave theirs
No,
to
the Tesseract. Loki's got it.
Yeah, now.
Now.
I thought they were supposed to give it to the collectors. Got some.
No,
Didn't
the
they
tw-
give some to John C. Riley?
No, they gave nothing to. They hid it there originally, or no, they were going to hide it. They did the one there, but I think the collector got that one, and then he also got the ether from Thor.
Right.
But the Tesseract was still in Asgard when they left.
That's right.
And
We just saw
then-
Ragnarok. That was sitting
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's there.
Oh yeah, I like that scene where Captain America like grabs his hand.
Oh, so yeah, it was
And
good.
he's like, but it looks like it's kind of, he's surprising Thanos, I think. You could
Yeah.
see Thanos, like, because I watched the preview like 18 times in a
Yeah.
row. And then I was like watching Thanos' face instead of his hand. And I was like, oh, he's kind of like, he's just going to
Yeah.
swat him with his other hand
Yeah,
or
it's-
something. But still, he's kind of like,
He's like, I can beat this guy, but it's still a slight challenge.
yeah.
So, Cloud City was actually a runoff idea from the first Star Wars movie. It was supposed to be like the Cloud City was going to be an Imperial jail. It's probably where originally they were going to get Leia from instead of the Death Star. They probably would have went there and then went back and then went to
Right.
the Death Star. But then I think they just decided to keep it simple and then they made it all about the Death Star, right?
I like Cloud City.
Cloud City's really
Yeah.
like an interesting idea. Like that's one of the hard things with these movies, right? Is like, what are you going to do? Because okay, you've done the desert planet, you've done the snow planet, you've now done like a couple of like tree planets because you've got Kashyyyk and you've got this,
Yep.
right? And Kashyyyk was actually in
Which one's Kashyyyk?
Kashyyyk is the one that Chewbacca's from. And you see it in episode 3, but you originally see it in the Christmas special. That's why in Fanboys, when they say what planet is Chewbacca from, they're like, they don't talk about that in the movies, but he knew the answer. It's because it's in the Christmas special.
It's in the Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
They eventually go there in one of the prequels, though, don't they? Or is that just a battle on?
Yeah, in
that a big Wookiee battle?
Episode 3, there's
Yeah.
a Wookiee battle, yeah. And it was actually, like, well, again, they fucked up in a couple spots because they had one of them do, like, the Tarzan yell.
Oh, they always do those little
and it's
things.
just like-
and that guy that has the same scream in like every movie.
Yeah, but, the Wilhelm.
Yeah.
But that one's more of like a film tradition.
Right.
Those other ones are just like those movie nerds going, this will be funny. People think this is funny, and then nobody finds it funny, and they're like, oh, never mind.
Not even them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, well, they like at the moment they thought it was funny because they
Right.
were really tired. Like, so, Lando Calrissian was originally offered to Yaphet Kotto
No way.
from what's it called, Running Man.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I can't remember which Bond movie was he in.
Fred, I just saw it recently. I don't know. I won't
There
get
he
it.
is. That's who I want to be.
Lando?
No, behind Lando.
Buddy with the head
Lobot.
thing on?
Yes,
Hey.
because I want to do the head thing.
Oh, that's good.
But I
There
want to
you
get one
go.
with the flashing.
I thought you wanted to be Lando. I was like, nobody's going to handle that well, bro.
Hey, all I need is a mustache, and I look exactly like
It's
him.
true.
It's perfect.
That is very true.
But yeah, so he was that, and then originally he was designed, or like the concept of him was that he was in hiding. He was one of the original clones from the Clone Wars, and so he was, which really would have fucked up the prequels for them, because then they would have had to do like animated young Billy D. Williams running around everywhere.
I like that. Those cartoon shows of Star Wars are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Rebels and
Yeah, Rebels just finished, actually.
Wicked. I need
just
to watch
wrapped
that.
up.
I should get the whole thing and watch it, man. It's so good.
That's the way to do it to me.
Oh,
just get
man.
it all done in one go.
One and done, baby.
One and done.
What is in those? What is that around Chewbacca there? What is
It's
that?
a band-
Gun clips?
Yeah, it's a bandolier of like his ammo.
Space ammo?
Yeah.
Spammo?
Yeah, for his bowcaster.
Oh.
So Billy D. Williams, this is one of my favorite things. Billy D. Williams was obviously Harvey Dent in Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, but he never got to play Two-Face. He thought he was going to in Batman Forever, and then got the news when he was sitting there waiting for the call that somebody else was going to play him, and he was pissed. But now he plays Harvey Dent. He was in Lego Batman movie, and he played Two-Face.
Oh, he was?
Yeah,
oh,
so-
well, that's funny. It goes around, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And
you
he's
know,
still playing Lando. He's the voice of
30
Lando.
years later.
He's the voice of Lando in Lego Star Wars and Star Wars Battlefront 2. He's probably, prior to this, he was best known for playing Gale Sayers in the movie Brian's Song, which probably up to the time was the only movie a man could, I know, sexy. But he was like the only movie a man could cry to before Rudy came out. Because that was the one where Brian...
What about old Yeller?
No,
Are men allowed to cry old Yeller? You got to
because
pretend
you have
it.
to be the one who shoots the dog.
Right.
Right, and then he was in Fanboys playing the judge. He wrote an episode of The Jeffersons too. Like,
Oh
it's
my
throwback
God, they
credit.
just blew him apart.
I liked that it gives you the whole tone of this place right away. You're like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, what? Something's going on here, let me tell ya.
This is my least favorite line delivery of this movie coming up. You'll hear it when it comes. You must complete the trading. It's not this line. It's coming, but like
The vision is of
here it
his
comes.
sister.
No. Bahadale will die if I don't.
You don't like that?
It's just, I don't know. There's like a weird like drum thing to it. Like Bahadale will die if I don't. It's like you could turn that into like a metal beat.
Right.
Bahadale will die if I don't. Bahadale will die if I don't. Bahadale will die if I don't. And just like you go and then, oh, Todd's strangling me. Here it goes.
That sounds like something. That sounds like Kalima. Yeah. You know, it sounds like that's what you're gonna say when you murder your family.
Hey, do you see my family around?
Do you have a lot of blood in your mouth?
Look at
I could go for a glow hue like that. You know, man. When I come back, come
this
on.
was.
I want to be gross, like in Pet Cemetery. Fuck the glow.
That'd be amazing. You actually still deteriorate like a zombie.
Yeah, but you have this nice glow about you.
His one eye's hanging out. Just like he's just constantly puking up his own entrails. So he's like talking.
Also glowing.
He's like, it is you. They
Guts. Looks like something out of the gates of hell.
Yeah, I'm so upset now. I'm glad that we're now in a situation where actors don't feel above these kind of parts, like with Anthony Hopkins
know.
and
Like
in
Thor and
like just all over the place.
You know
have
why?
These people and big directors too. The same thing. Like Kenneth Branagh did the first Thor.
because unlike these old like Alec Guinness, Sir Laurence Olivier guys,
Yeah.
they've realized that to be an actor is to be a whore. And there's what's the difference?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to pay me a big fat paycheck to be in your stupid cartoon movie where I stand in front of a green screen? You fucking A.
No, but to me, more than that.
I kid.
Yeah.
But they understand this is a medium now. All
Yeah.
this crazy shit now. Cartoons.
Yeah.
You want to get work, you do this.
But it's not
they're
even
good.
It's not. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not even if you want work.
Right, they're good.
It's you can do. They finally realize that people are taking the making of these as seriously as making another film.
Yes.
Right. It's like it doesn't like because there's a puppet in it doesn't mean that it's a joke.
Well, yeah. Well, and then you got look at the scripts now, right?
It's a
These Marvel
brilliant
movies.
cinematography there with the lighting.
These scripts are awesome. The Marvel scripts are awesome. The characters are awesome, and people are just jumping to be out in these movies. Guaranteed. That's why you get like John C. Reilly in a little role, or Glenn Close, or Anthony Hopkins in just a little piece of fucking Thor, because these movies kick ass.
Benicio del Toro in both a Marvel and a Star Wars movie. And
He was so good. Was that Rogue One?
No,
that he was in
Last Jedi.
What?
It was Last Jedi.
Oh, he was awesome.
the
I hope he
lockpicker.
comes back.
I think he'll come
I
he'll be
really
back
dug
in
his character, and I thought more was going to happen with him. I thought he was going to be screwing them over in the end, but no, he was just kind of like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm
So
in
he's
between
surviving.
this. I'm just going to live
Yeah, and he's like, I'm on the side where I
live
tomorrow.
Yeah. Did he fuck them over?
They got fucked over because of him, but it was really just a matter of, look, I wasn't really on your side.
Right.
He's like,
He was
I
kind
did
of a
the thing.
dick. I kind of liked him though.
Yeah. He'll be back. He'll be given the chance.
He'll redeem himself.
Kind of like Han at the end of Star Wars, where he leaves and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck? He wasn't so cool after all." And then he comes back.
And then he's
and
back.
has his
I
moment.
couldn't say. I had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Where am I going? I don't know.
Death Star blew up all the planets.
Yeah, what's going on here?
So
Look at these guys. This is Warwick Davis.
There's
Warwick Davis as
Warwick
the upper
Davis.
pile of C-3PO.
No, Warwick Davis had not started acting yet at this point.
Whatever.
That was the next movie he started.
Warwick Davis was in the Willow.
These are the Ugnaughts, though. If your drinking game's still going,
What is it?
yeah, Ugnaughts.
My drinking game is always still going, especially when you don't have to drink, so it doesn't cost me anything.
Yes, that droid that you just saw was one of the ones that were all lined up when they picked out R2D2 and C-3PO
Right.
in the first one.
Probably know all their
The
individual
weird arms.
names too.
Yeah.
It's a good thing he was fucking paying attention. Fuck, man, C-3PO would be gone.
Yeah, he's sitting there. He's like, "You guys and your horny human
Yeah.
libidos are just." There apparently this scene had a different version that they shot where like she comes in dressed like that, and Han's like, "You should wear girl clothes more often," and then they like kiss and stuff like that. He's like, "You can see
Right.
it in the DVD extras," and he's so charming. Like I would make out with him in a heartbeat. Like,
Does he tell later on how he got here? Is he the mayor of Cloud City or what?
He's not the mayor. He's the administrator of the mine.
He's the resident sexy rogue.
Yeah, like he's like this. Cloud City is the place where the miners are and stuff like that, and he's the administrator of this place.
Oh, there they are. The shift is over.
I have an Ugnaught toy. They all look like.
Of course you do.
They all look like Warwick Davis in the first Harry Potter.
Yeah, totally.
Like
Totally.
before they simplified Professor Flitwick.
Ugnuts. What'd you call them? Lugnuts?
Ugnaughts.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly think Chewbacca's gay based on that walk. He's kind of
Eggnog.
like, ew.
Eggnog
The
nuts.
eggnogs.
Put your nuts in the eggnog. You get one of those guys.
How excited for you? Just look at Lando for a minute. And how excited are you for Donald Glover to be taking that role?
Awesome.
Like they
I'm
could not have
so
picked a better
excited to see Solo because I want to see the early,
guy. Yeah. Well,
oh, you motherfucker.
I want to see that, but I also want to see,
I want to see Lando and I want to see their early adventures.
and I want to see Ron Howard's vision.
I heard, I read that they were like 80% done the movie.
They were, but they ended up reshooting more.
No.
than half. Yeah.
So when Ron Howard came in and he looked at the footage and what that Disney wanted, he essentially shot the whole movie again
Yeah.
in the shortest period of time, dude, like ever.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see. I wish there was a double whammy cut like the Zack Snyder Justice League cut that nobody. Why are they even talking about this?
Well, I actually got into it. This was my fault for even bringing it up. But they're like, why didn't they make the Snyder cut? There isn't a Snyder
Fuck,
cut.
who cares anyway?
And they were like, he said that. And I'm like, he shot a lot of footage, but they never made a cut.
yeah,
of
but
the
even
movie.
if this is to say like if there was any inkling that it could or should or would be a good movie,
Yeah.
then yes, you want to see the Snyder. People are saying it like, oh, well, they fucked over Zack Snyder. We need to see the Snyder cut, and that'll be so awesome. No, look at Batman versus Superman. Look at the Justice League. Look at all the DC movies he's directed. They're shit.
Yeah, and that's my other thing too. Is nobody really nobody was on top going like these are the best movies ever being made. So why did they think it was going to be better?
I think a fucking kid.
Joss Whedon actually made a good one.
Yeah, well,
Not-
he did what he could with it in
Yeah.
the time that he had.
No, I mean, I'm talking he made Avengers.
Oh,
so
fuck,
he
yeah.
actually had something to hang his hat on. Whereas, like, yeah, Snyder, they gave him all these friggin' movies, and none of the, I'm sorry, but I just watched Batman versus Superman again.
Oh my God.
Because I honestly was like, you know what? I'm being too biased. And I was like,
You're not being
the
biased enough.
No, but I was like, I'm the Marvel guy, and I was like, I probably didn't give it its due. Well, the first time I watched it, I kind of burned through it, and I'm like, I'm gonna sit down and really watch it. And I watched this movie, and I'm like, it looks like the dreams you have where you're like, so yeah, you and me were there, but you weren't you were somebody else,
Right?
And then we were on a spaceship, and they're like, how do we get to the spaceship? I don't know, and it just keeps going, and that was the entire movie,
Yeah.
and then. Everything was so easily resolved when it needed to be. We're fighting, Martha. What? We're friends now.
None of it
Like,
made any sense. You think that you're going to be the world's greatest
Dipshit.
detective and then believe that it was Superman's fault?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, exactly.
The logic of the characters was ludicrous.
Like-
Anyways, while he's here, that guy should have been played by the bald guy that's in everything.
Yeah.
You know the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He was in like Masters of the Universe and
James Tolkien.
Yes.
Yes. No, he, this guy though, that's John Hollis. He's also in a Bond movie. He was also, I think, in Never Say Never Again. Oh no, he was in For Your Eyes Only. So yeah, it's really funny. I think there's three guys. The guy, Jeremy Bullock, who is in Boba Fett's suit. He's not the voice of Boba Fett, but he's in the suit. He was also in For Your Eyes Only.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny too, Jeremy Bullock, because he was never the voice. Somebody else was the voice in the original version, and then they replaced him because he's the clone. He's Jango Fett's clone. So he has Jango Fett's voice in the new version. So
You think they'll do that in the movies or leave that for the cartoon to handle?
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
I would love if they did like Clone Wars stuff in movie form. Like go back even more. Prequel to the prequel, bro. Clone Wars.
I think they'll probably at the very least
They'll
give
leave
a
it for
long
the
break.
they'll leave it for the. I think that Clone Wars storyline is just fucking awesome.
I do. It was good.
I dig it. I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah, no, it was quite good. It's so anyways, the Tamara Morrison is the guy who was Jango Fett, who's now the voice of this. He was in Barbed Wire, Speed 2, Episode 2 and 3. He was in Moana. Now that you bring it
Barbed
up.
Wire.
Yeah, he
With
was.
Pam?
Yeah, but he was in Moana. He was the king in Moana.
No way.
And he's in Aquaman
That's
coming up,
fucked up.
right?
How the fuck does that work out?
Well, he's Maori, so he's like a New Zealander guy, and like he's
Oh, you know what I did? And you're watching that movie too. I said, man, these accents sound New Zealand
yeah. That's
or
why-
South African. They kind of sound like Kiwi. It's kind of a
Well,
weird.
they're supposed to be Kiwi. They're supposed to be like native Maori, like tribesmen and stuff.
Ah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's a good one.
And Jeremy Bullock, who again was the body of Boba Fett, he was in The Spy Who Loved Me. He was in Octopussy, so he's got all kinds of Bond stuff. He was in Swing Kids, did tons of TV. And then Jason Wingreen is another guy. Didn't see all his roles, but he was the original voice of Boba Fett that they
Right.
just switched to match up the continuity. Which I didn't have a problem with. People were mad about, oh, he's not the original voice. Who cares? He had like 5 lines in the entire trilogy.
Ruined the whole thing for me.
Yeah. And he's still cool as shit. He's the only person who was who debuted in the Christmas special.
Who?
Boba Fett. Boba Fett was in the Christmas special.
Oh, he
before this,
did?
and he was actually, his toy came out before.
Anybody
the movie
even
came
seen
out.
him?
Well, I mean, people who saw the Christmas special saw him, but nobody who saw but it was still way before. It was like a special one you had to like mail in for. And originally he was supposed to have the firing rocket, but then one of the Battlestar Galactica toys had a firing rocket. And a kid choked and died, so they just nixed the firing rocket.
That's out. One kid, eh?
Yeah, but if you watch all of the documentaries and stuff on like old retro toys and things like that, they talk about it, and that everybody says, people come out of the woodwork to say, oh, I've got the one. There was one that was firing, or I have the prototype. There were like 3 prototypes that were actually got made that looked very little like the finished product, and like they're in the hands of, like, they're already in people's hands. They're known where they are.
Why do they have to freeze him? How far is the Emperor?
Well, it's not about how far he is. It's about what he can do while they're traveling. Right? It's like you are
They
fighting a
want
guy
him
who might be
immobilized.
able to.
Right.
Right?
I hear you. No, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
This device and what they end up doing with it and stuff, I think is actually really smart filmmaking for what they were doing. Because, I mean, we'll talk more about it with Harrison Ford. Not with Harrison Ford, but we'll talk about Harrison Ford.
Right.
When the time comes. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and blow my nut. But it's
happens.
like such a pretty city. Pretty city.
Oh, shit's going down now.
Another
Fucking Lando Calrissian, you fucking turncoat.
the sets on this one, like every set they built, I think this was the most sets they built for any of the movies. And there's so many cool
I do dig
ones,
this
eh?
set a lot. There is a lot of really
Yeah.
cool sets on here, yeah.
Yeah, they said this set was so hot that
It looks hot.
Yeah, that like Chewbacca's costume started to just stink because he's like just sweating in it. It's coming
Oh,
through.
God. Imagine
Like,
taking that off and then have to put it back on after lunch or whatever. Like,
you would.
oh,
Well, you don't take it off. You'd take off your head during
oh
lunch. but,
God. You just wring that shit out.
like, just imagine how the face would. It would smell. Like,
That's method acting because I have a feeling Chewbacca stinks.
yeah.
So, you know,
everybody's
that's
just fine
it.
with
Yeah.
Apparently, I didn't know when I was doing some reading today. Apparently, Han Solo was as a kid was supposed to be in Episode 3. He was gonna
Really?
be, when they were on Kashyyyk. He was going to be as a kid on Kashyyyk, and he was going to discover like the location of Utapau, where Obi-Wan has to go and stuff like that. So, and like you were going to find out that he was basically orphaned and being raised by Chewbacca. and
Oh,
that's
you
how
got to
they
watch
came to
out with
be.
those kind of things because then
Oh,
later on
friendship.
you're like, why wouldn't you say that?
Yeah,
Like like in Lord of the Rings, it's like, why wouldn't
yeah.
Buddy the elf say to,
Yeah.
hey, I partied with your old man years ago,
Yeah.
or not your old man, but
Yeah,
your
yeah.
uncle.
Yeah,
Why,
exactly.
we went on all these, why wouldn't you ever say,
No, but that was the thing, and they did a really good job with that. If you go back and watch The Hobbit, Legolas never interacts with Bilbo.
that's probably why.
They don't even see each other ever. The only
Oh.
time they come close is when they're in the barrels going down the
Right.
river, and he jumps over them, but he never sees. They never lock eyes.
Oh, I was probably too busy trying to induce vomiting
Probably.
with my ticket stub.
I wish they would have. They could have made. Potentially two. They could have made
I
one
wanted
good
to see
movie
friggin'
or
Buddy's
potentially
version.
two good movies. Guillermo.
Yeah,
No, because
man.
I feel like you would have seen the exact same three people you see in all those things. You would have seen the hand eyes.
Jones.
Yeah,
Adam
Doug-
Jones would have been
Doug
there all
Jones.
skinnied up with makeup all day long.
Yeah, Doug Jones would have played
Yeah.
Beorn or something. So the
He does have that same style all
yeah,
the time, right?
it's always there.
Yeah, that's the
I can tell
problem.
one coming from a million miles away.
Yeah, yeah.
But and not that they're bad. Like he's a
No,
good
but you
filmmaker,
always
it's
know
just-
like a Guillermo monster when you
yeah.
see it.
And
you know.
you can't do that when you're dealing with something that's.
Did you see
already
The Shape of
subject
Water?
matter. No, I haven't.
No, I don't know if I ever will. Oh no, that would be something
So-
awesome to get in your rec
Yeah.
room.
You can buy that actually. It's like $10,000 from Sideshow Toys.
We could make one from friggin' tinfoil.
Well, I couldn't.
We'll just
But
keep ordering subs.
yeah, those subs.
Wrap you in tinfoil, stick it to the wall,
and it'll smell like meatballs, so it's win-win.
Yeah.
But they did this because he wanted to be killed off in the movie. He basically said, he's like, what else is there for Han to do? Han's not a Jedi. Han's
Oh,
not
he
like-
always wants to be killed off.
Well,
for
no, but that
fuck's
was
sakes.
well, this is where it started though. This was the point. He's like, and he literally said, he was like just coming at it from a real point of view. He's just like, what else is there left for him to do? And then so he's like, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna kill you. We'll do this to you, and then if you have a change of heart, or like we'll talk about it later, and we'll talk about the story and stuff when we're there. And then if you want to come back, then we can revive you, and it's simple. It's a rescue mission to come get you. If not, then you're frozen and it's done. Like it's just over for you.
I have a feeling that the memo that hit his table also had a lot of cash stuck into that little.
No, as far as I know, he didn't get a raise because they were all contracted to do the movies.
Nice shot.
So he wouldn't have gotten anything to not do it, or he wouldn't have gotten anything extra to come do
Mm.
it. But it was the idea that they were like, "Hey, you're going to be the leader of this thing now," and it's like, "Oh, he gave him something to do." But then, when the sequels came, JJ said, "Yeah, no, it's time. Like, I think it's time for that to actually occur. You got to make the sacrifice, right?" So. This is cool too, just the idea of
It's
the
too
hover
bad we're not gonna get there until next year.
Yeah.
But the sound effect when he comes out of that thing is so killer.
Yeah.
Like that, like
Squish.
yeah, like that weird. There he goes.
So good. But yeah, the "I love you, I know" line. It was always said, and I believed up until today, that it was an improvised line where they did it as written, but then they also did it. He goes, I just want to do this thing. Apparently, just Irvin Kershner and him knew about it. They actually talked about it because they didn't want to say this other thing because it was too committed to coming back and stuff like that. So he had this conversation. So basically what he originally was going to say was when she goes, "I love you," he goes, "Just remember that because I'll be back." And then they did that instead. But then Carrie Fisher was pissed because she wasn't let in on the conversation that was planning ahead of time.
Right.
And Lawrence Kasdan was pissed because because writers get pissed when you change their lines.
Yes, they do.
So,
Give me my money. He's a writer.
yeah, there it is.
It's a trap.
I like that. Actually, Jeremy Bulloch right there is who was he was Boba Fett, but he's also one of those stormtroopers because the guy called in sick or whatever and couldn't be there, so he was there and he's like, "Oh, I'll put on the stormtroopers."
Stormtroopers get sick too, man. They got a union. Do you think there's that many of them that are in a union? Money called it in.
With the Emperor, there's no way there's a union.
Probably guaranteed. No,
It's like union negotiations. He's sitting there just.
That should be a skit we should do. The one guy that comes on is trying to get a union done up between the in the Empire
That
there
would be
and
amazing. But
are you guys represented by anybody?
for Star Wars sketches, I think nothing tops Saturday Night Live's Kylo Ren undercover boss. So they're on Starkiller Base, and he's like just wearing like the thing. Hi, I'm Matt. And he's just like he's so good. Look at how cool like the lighting and stuff in this is out of this
Yes,
world.
it is.
I don't know what it did for Oscars and stuff like that, but it is out of this world.
It does have a lot of good shots. Was cinematography up for Oscars or anything?
That's what I'm saying. I literally just said I don't know what it was nominated for.
Oh, no, I
for
thought maybe you
Oscars.
just meant like...
No, I don't know.
I'm surprised that you don't know that. That's one drink, people.
Yeah.
That's one drink.
There you go. I just didn't look it up. I was just couldn't be with how much research there was. I just couldn't be bothered. So Bob Anderson, the legendary swordsman who did he does all the choreography for these ones, but also did the old Errol Flynn movies, and he did the Lord of the Rings sword fights and stuff like that. He's actually in the Darth Vader suit in these. So it's not David Prowse doing these.
Right.
And a lot of this, you'll notice that there's going to be a lot of close-ups of just Mark Hamill during the scene. And it's because Bob Anderson had a hard time breathing. So they had to keep he kept the mask off for lengths of time. See, I picture, this is Lobot in case you didn't know his name.
So wait, before he pressed some buttons,
Yeah.
Lando, and this guy is he controlling him?
He's not controlling him, but he has a direct link to him.
Ah.
It's not even I need to talk to you.
Right.
It's I'm
He's
sending
beep,
stuff
boop,
to
beep.
your brain.
That means, come and meet me
Yeah.
over here. Whatever. I thought he was controlling him.
No. So...
There you go.
Yeah. Oh God, I just picture how drugged up she was. She was renting Eric Idle's house while they were shooting this movie.
No way.
And she had a big party. It was the day before they arrived at Cloud City, that scene when they come in, which is actually why they're a little more jumpy and happy in that scene. When they come off, you could see they're kind of in a better mood.
Really?
They had a big party. The Rolling Stones were there.
What?
Harrison Ford was there, and they found there was these bottles of alcohol that were called Tunisian table cleaner. And I guess it was stuff that they, during Life of Brian, while they shot that just prior to this, they were giving it to all the crew on Life of Brian as a little pick me up for people, and they were all drinking this stuff and getting fucking destroyed.
I love. I want to just hear a whole look at that freaking screener, eh?
Yeah.
I want to hear. There must be a book out of just the stories of her, because she is a party animal. I love this woman.
Yeah.
She didn't take no shit either, man. She sounded wicked.
She was the
She got that from her mother.
If only you could drop the parts where she had to be addicted to drugs. She's just the perfect being.
Oh, she's
just
awesome.
She's
Who's her mom again?
Eddie Fisher was her dad, and
It's
her name just lost me. Son of a bitch.
Shirley Temple.
No.
Shirley MacLaine.
No.
Yep.
No.
Shirley MacLaine.
Shirley MacLaine. God, her name just... I knew it this morning because I was doing stuff.
She was a terrible mother too, apparently.
Well, it's a matter of, what's it called?
I like this hallway that they right there. I don't know if we'll see it again now that he fell down the damn stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, nice little
Oh, it's Debbie
float
Reynolds.
jump. Debbie Reynolds.
There it is.
Damn it.
I could I was doing research today and it said her name and I just totally forgot it.
They had a pretty awful relationship, apparently.
In parts, because she wrote that movie where they played themselves.
Yeah, Postcards from the Edge.
Yeah, there it is, and it's just so crazy that they can do that stuff. So I'll go through while they're doing this. So Lee Brackett's first draft had a ton of stuff that completely fucked up this movie. So one thing is Luke is visited by the ghost of Anakin Skywalker, which means that he can't be Anakin Skywalker. And then he tells her about her sister, Nella Skywalker, who's actually somewhere else training as well. So she's basically going through the exact same story elsewhere. And it was literally just all dropped because they had, like, he had a better idea of like what they and what they ended up doing, which is a million times better. Like the twist in that. Well, the double twist really of what they want to do as far as siblings and parents and stuff like that was way better.
Did you just before here? Luke jumps out of the the freezing chamber thing there, the old demolition man fucking freeze you up circle.
Yeah.
And he grabs onto the tubes. And then, like Darth Vader's like kind of in dad mode.
Yeah.
Right, real brief, he's like impressive. And then he kind of lazily swings at him. Luke just pulls himself up by 3 more feet and he's like quite impressive. And I'm like, oh, he just had a little dad moment there where he's just beefing his son up.
Look at you. Look at my boy.
Yeah, exactly, right? Well, you're doing pull-ups. Look at you.
This thing coming up is actually the only stunt that Mark Hamill didn't do himself in this movie.
Oh, he's like Tom Cruise. He's like the Star Wars Tom Cruise.
Well, it's not like it. Like he did his own fighting, and there's a couple of like jumps and stuff like that. Nothing major, right?
The lightsaber seemed pretty weak there.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was like the new ones. The colors are just so much more brilliant. I love the use of. See, this is something that I really want them. This is why I want them to do the Old Republic. As like really, I want Ryan Johnson to make a trilogy of the Old Republic, because you would see the best Jedi at their best. Like these are like guys.
Qui-Gon Jinn?
No, this is the Old Republic is 1,000 years before any of this stuff, and it was like there were thousands of Jedi.
Like there was a shit ton of Jedi War, right?
Yeah. And
is that a video game? Oh my god, later, Luke.
It was a comic book that turned into a video game, Knights of the Old Republic, then turned into the Old Republic video game. But like, there's so much cool shit. If they told the Knights of the Old Republic, the first movie or the first video game as a movie, it is a stellar movie. Like you go to all these places and you're trying to find like this ancient thing that like the first people to ever like discover technology built, which could basically help them build any technology they want and stuff. It's like basically a mega power where you could use it to build like the most dangerous weapons in the world, or you could use it to like, build up the entire universe like for good. And so they're in a race with this like main bad guy and stuff like this, and then there's a huge reveal on who the main bad guy actually is, and like it's out of this world. And it's the only Star Wars movie I would say cast Vin Diesel in, because there's a large character who just has a very deep voice and stuff.
D's?
Yeah, I think that Vin Diesel would do really well in that movie.
I was just about to ask where he was. There he is, smoking away.
This
the little
was
midget
actually-
in there's having a butt right now.
Kenny Baker, who's
Kenny
dead.
Baker.
He was electrocuted in that scene. But no, he just died. He also died in 2016, same as...
Oh, he was actually electrocuted?
No, he wasn't electrocuted.
Oh, I thought that was another fact that just came out.
He just died of being an old little person.
Which is old. Did it matter that he was little?
Well, yeah,
just because he was old.
No, because
like they age more.
Well, no, it's because little people don't tend to get that old because the strain on their bodies.
Exactly, on their little hearts.
That's right.
I wouldn't be taking. I'd be backing up into the wall to give him a little face smack.
I think the problem is actually most of their organs are like regular size because it's all like squished in.
Squished in, yeah.
I don't know all the physiology. Forgive me, but good old Stormtroopers. Like, there's some just so cool. Like, Reese's favorite characters are the Stormtroopers.
Yeah?
When he watches Star Wars daily.
Oh, well, I'm sure that must bother you.
It's pretty bothersome. But
yeah. You know what's bothersome? Because you know that one day he's going to know more.
No, my biggest fear is he's not going to like it and call me a homo for enjoying it.
When he gets to that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I never liked Star Wars. I lied. He'll be like, no. That'll be your no.
He's like, I like Twilight. No. And I'm Team Jacob. No.
I'm a Star Trek guy. And even then, I'm pretty iffy on it.
I'm a Star Trek book guy, except for all that space bullshit.
Yeah. I like that shot in Solo where it looks like a vortex is happening and all the ships are coming through it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, hanging outside. You know, this I was going to say, like, look at all these rooms, man.
Yeah.
Like, on the inside of this whole circle, like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a real design for this thing, like a full-on design of how all the rooms connect and how everything connects into here and what's the point of it. And
Probably not.
somebody probably did it, eh?
I bet you somebody's done it recently,
Yeah.
but nobody did it for the movie.
Right, yeah, totally.
It's
Maybe it
just
was
like-
a fan that did it,
Yeah.
not the movie.
It's like, you know, when those, I can't remember, it was a school actually came up with how much it would cost to build the Death Star. And they did math on its dimensions and stuff and said, okay, if it was based on steel, then this is how much this would cost and blah, blah, blah. And then this is what...
$4 billion.
And then this is what would be required. No, it was...
Exactly what
it
was paid to George Lucas for the franchise.
It was in like, I think it was like the sextillions or something like that. It was like...
I can see that, actually. The thing
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah, huge.
Huge.
It's like they built like Manhattan.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got a good hit.
I forgot there you got. Well, you got one on him there.
See, this is my only problem though,
Ooh.
is that sometimes you can hit somebody with a lightsaber and it just like hits them like that, but a lightsaber can literally cut through anything. So this is,
Oh, should have chopped off Buddy's hand there now. See, tit for tat, bro.
I think this is still the all-time greatest twist in film.
You think?
I think it's, or at least the most memorable.
I think the greatest twist ever was when Samuel Jackson was eaten by that shark in Deep Blue Sea, and you
That
think
was
he's the
great.
star.
That was really good. Or executive decision.
Yeah,
That was,
was-
I just watched that
that
yesterday.
movie's fucking awesome.
No, not yesterday, day before yesterday.
You fucking liar.
Sorry. But yeah, so anyways, so David Prowse is given the line, Obi-Wan killed your father. And that was the big twist. But 5 people knew the real line. And that was, so George Lucas, Irvin Kershner, Lawrence Kasdan, Mark Hamill, and James Earl Jones. The I am your father.
Whoa, could you imagine being in the theater back in the day?
That would, like,
Whoa.
see, I actually feel like I was cheated by
No, we
knowing
were
this,
because
where,
we
like, it
already
was-
knew. Like before we started, we were probably saying the "I'm your father" before we even saw the damn movies.
Oh, probably. And
Right?
then there was like, and like probably your, you know, it's like your dad would be like, I am your father.
See that right there?
Yeah.
Every time I go to my dad's house, he reminds me that he's my fucking dad. I have the same reaction.
Yeah.
And then I attempt to chop my hand off.
They actually apparently in episode 3 do an I am your father moment where they actually reveal, like it was deleted scenes or it was in the script but not shot, I don't remember. But the Emperor tells Darth Vader that, because you know how they talk about Darth Plagueis being able to like bring people back from the dead or create life or whatever, and that he didn't have a father. It was that he used, and it was always what people figured was that the Emperor used the power that Darth Plagueis had to make a baby that would be like the ultimate Sith. And so essentially he is the father, and he revealed it in, I think it was just in the script. I don't think they ever shot it, 'cause I
Right.
never saw like a deleted scene or something like that. But
And then you landed in that old sucky vent.
yeah, I know.
That's not sucking anymore.
Yeah, that's just a rad slide.
Whoa.
And then that has a weird vent that drops you off at the TV antenna. So does anybody still have rabbit ears?
Do you think that really like Darth was like, oh, he's like, hey, I'm your dad. Why don't you join me? And then he's like, fuck you, and he jumps. He's probably like, oh,
Yeah.
well, there's more friends that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Family.
I should stop telling everybody I'm their father.
Like, what this shit, eh? You know what? That might be one of the. I'm going to think about this. This is a trivia question for people out there who've made it all the way.
At the very least,
What's
at the, time,
greatest twist?
Yeah.
Is Star Wars Emperor Strikes Back, I Am Your Father, the best twist in cinema history?
I think at the very least, it is the most memorable.
Yeah.
I think there are probably ones that were bigger surprises. And like, I
Like
mean,
Shawshank?
like even in
That was a big twist.
yeah, like even in Pitch Perfect, like I'm gonna tell you there wasn't a twist in Pitch Perfect, but she points out the fact that she's like yeah, in Star Wars it was obvious. It's like, you honestly think that the greatest twist of all time was obvious? She's like, his name's Darth Vader. Vader is German for father. His name is literally Darth Father. Like,
It's not bad. It's not bad.
yeah,
Right?
so yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I give Pitch Perfect more credit than other people do. But
I thought you were going to
give
say
Pitch
that
Perfect-
amazing twist in Pitch Perfect
Yeah.
when you find out that one of the girls is a plant and she's winning points for the other side, the North Korean singing team.
It's just Kim Jong Un doing Gangnam Style.
Yes. Riveting.
Nice.
Like the logo in the background.
I like
Is that
to-
Cloud City logo?
Probably. I also like kind of the dichotomy of all the lighting too. Like they were in that weird red, and then it's this pure white, and then it goes to another dark, and then it goes boom, 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 hits you.
I like that they're still using these old school antennas. That must have been back in the day before they switched over.
Yeah, they
They still got them down there.
And they're behind, so digital's not a thing.
You know what? They should have had a scene just as he's falling, where some dude and his wife are in the room. And he's like, "This goddamn TV's gone out again."
That would have been
and then he
amazing.
lands on the antenna, and then the channel comes in.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, two alien guys or something, right? This
This is some precision shit.
Oh, it always is with these kind of things, right?
See, and that's the thing, and this is my big problem, because you'll see so many people, even people who like the movie, like, I'm going to pick it apart now, and we're going to do this. I'm like, why? Just suspend a little bit of goddamn disbelief. And I'm not just doing this to defend Star Wars, but just
anything.
Lord of the Rings, anything.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm writing this really grand, ridiculous thing. It's like, let's start with, it's like let's do Lord of the Rings. And they're like, oh yeah, like an elf would really be able to do that. Let's start full stop with why like there'd be an elf. Like, let's just relax and just enjoy the movie, right? Like,
well, I mean, we do it all the time. Like, I'll see stuff in a movie and make fun of it, but I won't just because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I know. I think a lot of people think that about me too. Like, look, I don't want to watch this movie with you. Well, for one, if we're actually watching a movie in the theater, I don't say a fucking word.
Yeah.
But if we're sitting at home, I'm going to talk shit about the movie, and they think I'm not enjoying it because I'm talking shit about it, when in fact, I've just seen the movie a million times. And it's fun.
First question Carrie asked me when we watched Thanksgiving together, she's like, has Todd ever really seen a movie? And I'm like, why do you ask? And I knew why she asked, but I wanted to hear her say it.
Right.
And she's like, because he talked through the entire thing and then asked us what just happened over and over and over again. He's like, blah, 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 blah. Why aren't they going to tell us how this happened? They literally just told us how this happened. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Like,
that movie was hard to follow.
I know.
Thanksgiving?
I know.
But
But
talking about twists.
It was just so funny. I'm like, that's just how we watch movies when we're having fun, right? But yeah, I will say, you go to a movie with Todd, he will not talk.
Maybe.
It's like the only ones we ever talked during were the ones where we had to make fun of. Like, it was like, and it would be the smallest thing, and it would be super quiet. It's not like we yell shit out or anything, but we would just be like Armageddon, and we just do that. I think the one that got us the most was that one where like they were separated, like Ben Affleck and dude, and he's like going back up. He's like, I love you, and I went over and I was like, I love you, and then you just started laughing, and a bunch of teenage girls got mad at us.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man, remember when people thought Michael Bay was talented?
Oh my God.
I just watched The Last Night, Transformers The Last Night. It was the most unwatchable garbage I've ever seen. And
I saw some of it.
What?
I saw some of it as well. They played it. I don't know what channel it was in the States when I was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
But it was on all day long. And I was
right.
having some drinks, and I was like, you know what? Let me just put it on while I'm priming up here. Priming up.
Oh, I get it.
Hey,
right.
fucking right on.
I like it.
And I was like, this is the worst piece of trash.
And you know what made me so upset about it was I was given, like, I had really high hopes because they had just, after the last one came out, they got a bunch of directors and producers together and stuff. They brought in all of the comics and all of the toys, and they're like, let's get down to what people really like about Transformers. And like, we're going to tell the stories that they want to see. And then they're like, Michael Bay's gone. We're doing the whole other thing. And it's all these guys and like good people, like good writers, and like Akiva Goldsman and all these different people. And then out of nowhere, they're like, hey, what if we did one where it kind of took place during like medieval times? And then like literally that was one of their pitches. And then somebody else was, hey, what if we do like, what was the other chunk of what if we do one that takes place
King
on
Arthur
Cybertron?
times.
And like, well, that's the medieval bit.
Yeah.
And like, but they combined basically the two ideas that they had that had nothing to do with Transformers. And then they did that weird thing with Anthony Hopkins. I'm from the House of Witwicky.
Oh my God.
And then they kind of like all of a sudden made it like Shia LaBeouf was like a secret society member when he was just like some stupid kid. good. Like it was
Yeah,
just
this is like
so
when
lazy.
you know, like still like back in the day when they're gonna make like a video game movie, but none of the people in the room has ever even seen the video game.
Yeah.
And they all talk like they know something. This is the whole thing, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Michael Bay movies are notorious for like, hey, take everything we love about the Ninja Turtles, throw it out the fucking window, and then make like, what are you doing?
Wouldn't it be greater if they're middle aged and knew no martial
Yeah,
arts?
and they didn't come. They're
Yeah.
not. They came from outer space and all this
Yeah.
shit, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, and they were all Transformers.
That's
But,
because
like,
his movies make a shit ton of money,
yeah.
and so he thinks that he.
They do huge.
know?
They do huge. Even if it bombs here, they
Yeah.
do huge numbers internationally. The Last Night made the least money out of any of them, and it made $600 million.
Yeah.
Like, so he can do whatever he wants because he's
Yep.
like, well, obviously I'm making good movies. People are going to see them. And it's
What's
like,
it called? Wasn't that bad though.
Which?
With The Rock, and it was a true story about these guys working out at the gym and they robbed a guy.
Yes.
That was a good one.
That was Michael Bay?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He did it on purpose to show people that he could make like a movie under like a certain amount of money.
Oh, well, then just fucking make a movie.
Yeah.
'cause You're not like, it was.
Now
like,
he's still going with Transformers because John Cena's going to be in the Bumblebee. Oh, but Haley
Yeah.
Steinfeld is in it. Like, oh my God. She's in Pitch Perfect as well, right?
she's, yeah.
Jesus God, that woman is beautiful.
But I'm going to put it to you. I don't know if you remember my pitch for Transformers, what it could have been with Shia LaBeouf still and stuff like that.
No, what?
Okay, so I'll just go over it really quick. But basically, to keep Shia LaBeouf interested, because you remember how Spike in the Transformers cartoon was in a wheelchair.
Yes.
His name was Spike Witwicky.
Right.
So I say give him that character. In the second movie, he gets his back broken trying to help Prime. He's now in a wheelchair. Now he's all bitter and like pissed about all this, and he's stuck with these people in this world because he's one of the people who knows about it, and he's like kind of like charged by the government with like being like their liaison, which kind of happens in a little bit in the third one. But he so he's all mad about that, and they end up making him an exoskeleton. Like in the cartoon that can transform, so then he kind of gets in on the action. The other side of that, the Transformers are now living in this big technological base out in the desert or whatever. Something happens. I don't have this part, but it invites a lot, like more Decepticons than you could possibly imagine. And then that's when you hear the big and the whole base starts to transform, and he's Metroplex.
Yep.
Who's like the size of a building when in like not transform
Like a
mode.
skyscraper.
Like he's like mountain tall
Yeah.
and just fighting off like
And then Buddy's got to show up, the big lizard guy.
But what I was thinking was that the Constructicons would be back in this one, or some version of them, so it would be all big, and then this thing would be there, and it would just like stomp
Oh
on
yeah,
it. Like it would
yeah.
be,
The Dinobots were in it too, and Optimus Prime beats them all up in like 5 seconds, and then rides them into battle, and
Yeah.
like,
just ugh.
oh God.
I apologize because we literally just
Hey!
abandoned this movie
All right.
to start talking about how bad Transformers was.
That's how bad Transformers is.
So that's pretty interesting, though. You see the credits there. Lee Brackett and Lawrence Kasdan were given the screenplay. Not one thing of Lee Brackett's was used in the movie, but she was so respected as like a sci-fi writer that George Lucas wanted her to have the credit and to honor her because she just died. And George Lucas actually helped write the script, and he gave himself just the story by. So he does some interesting stuff, and this movie, because it was all done independently, it made so much money, he gave out $5 million worth of bonuses to the crew.
Nice.
And stuff like that. And I mean, that doesn't sound like a ton, except then you think 1980 and what $5 million
Yeah, that
was.
would have been odd, but still
The budget,
anything.
Well, to give you an idea too, the budget of this movie was $18 million.
Oh my God.
So
he
he's
looks like more than that, man.
I know. And so
They don't
he
make
gave-
him like this anymore,
Exactly.
baby.
But that would be like the equivalent of giving like 30 million.
Yeah.
Like now.
Yeah,
to
that's
those
pretty
people.
sweet.
Right? So, I mean, give it up. And let's just give it up again. We didn't talk about him because, I mean, we talk about him constantly. He's John Williams and his amazing friggin' scores.
How did this movie get, I know independent movies, you can get it into, how did he get it into theaters if all the studios wanted nothing to do with this
Oh,
fucking
no.
guy?
Well, again, like, I never once said the studios didn't want it. The studios
Oh,
all
sorry.
wanted it. Yeah.
He didn't want to go through that
He didn't-
way
He got a studio to distribute it. He just didn't get a studio to produce
to
it.
make it or anything.
Yeah. So he's he got like Fox is still the distributor at this point. He's got a thing with them. He just wasn't taking their money, essentially, right? So like it was
The man had a vision.
yeah, exactly.
Man, did he ever.
And like and this was like literally the turn point for him. So Skywalker Ranch is now built, which is now where most of this special effects and audio mixing
Yep.
in the world is done.
Yep.
And Lucasfilm
Wow,
now
like
stretches
half.
well, but I mean, think about that though as a number. Like it's like and
Still pretty goddamn
and like
good.
even movies where like they weren't the most of it. It's like friggin' like Lucasfilm did stuff for the Marvel
Yep.
movies, and they
Yep.
do it for like even if it's not everything, it's always something.
Yeah, we looked. It was a sound thing, right? Remember we were
Yeah.
watching the Thor Ragnarok
Yeah.
commercials, and it was like Skywalker sound or
Skywalker
something.
sound
Yeah.
did it, but then Black Panther, some of it was done at Lucasfilm.
Yes.
But there were like 6 or 7 companies that were doing it because there was so much to cover.
Harley Cockless.
Yes. Actually,
Woo!
well done. Actually, that guy he worked on The Muppet Show with, and it's actually Cokeless. They spelt it wrong there. But
Oh my god.
I believe. But the
Oh, bummer.
yeah,
Bummer, bro.
Well, at least according to what I read, the one I read could have been spelt wrong too. So you never know. But but yeah, he worked on the Muppet Show with oh, there's Joe Johnston's name. He worked on the Muppet Show with Frank Oz, and he was visiting the set one day, and literally they basically came up to him. They're like, "We need another second unit director. You want to get started?" And he just started like he was hired on the spot for a job he wasn't there to try and get.
You want to be the president of Texaco Oil?
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, okay. Can I still be the janitor? Or whatever. I think I'm mixing up the jerk with UHF.
Yeah. Ooh, production assistant Jenny Osnowitz. That's Frank Oz's probably daughter. I don't know.
Osnowitz?
Osnowitz. That's Frank Oz's
Yeah.
actual last name. So,
Oh, I was being like, what? Like,
yeah.
Fry's Engineering. Good old Fry's.
Whoever
Okay, you know what?
engineers
So
the
my character was not in here.
Yeah.
So
who's your
I
character?
think that if I was going to go as somebody from this one, I'd go as one of those Cobra Commander dudes.
yeah,
in the white.
the snow troopers.
The snow troopers.
Yeah. There's a lot of that's the thing. The cool thing about you could have an entire Comic-Con with every person being a different character.
I dug those dudes in the background of the fight scene in Snoke's throne room there. Those
Yes.
dudes standing in the background. Those guys were wicked looking.
There was a lot of confusion because some people thought that those were the Knights of Ren. And they're not. Those guys
Right.
still haven't been in the movie, and they're supposed to be like they're all supposed to be as
baddest ass
badass
dudes,
as Kylo
right.
Ren. They are the Jedi that were being trained by Luke, and they all left.
Oh.
And so everybody thought like because these guys all had kind of lightsabery weapons
Right.
and stuff like that.
Lightsaber-esque.
Yeah, like all
Weapons.
energy weapons. I saw they showed a deleted scene from The Last Jedi that they just put online just so you could see a little something as like a selling point for the Blu-ray that's coming out next week as we record this. It will already have come out by the time this episode is out. But it was the way that Phasma dies originally. It was like an alternate scene where Finn reveals that she's the one who took down the Starkiller base shield.
Right.
He's like, I put my gun to your head and you just took down the shield. And then he's like, how do you think your troopers feel about that? And they all look at her.
We should call that number.
Phone T. Yeah, 1-800.
We should
phone
totally call it and
THX.
see what it says.
It's probably George Lucas's phone. He's just, hello. Let's.
Well, okay, it was right.
But anyways, so then she ends up killing all the stormtroopers, and then and then takes him down, and he's down, and then they do that you scum, and he's like rebel scum, and then blows her away, and she goes flying over.
Right.
So it was like it's just an alternate version of the
Yeah.
thing, but it was just they reveal that she's the one who did it. So that
I
is
am going to call that number. What was it?
1-800
call
THX.
THX?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 1800 CA, which is the same one. LL. So 1-800-2255 8T49. Here we go. 1-800-225-5849. Everybody call at the same time because we're going live. Here we go.
Put it on speaker.
How do I do that?
You gotta know how to use your fucking phone, man. I don't know.
Hey, my
No,
phone
no.
doesn't know how to use me.
I
Now,
don't
now
care.
we should be able to do
There,
it.
now, speaker. Okay, let's find.
Here we go.
Oh, that was my ankle cracking.
Hi, you've got George Lucas.
I don't know if it's supposed to be.
Imagine this is him.
That would be
Maybe
amazing.
it's some old derelict answering machine that you still press the buttons on. So like he's in there crying because they don't want him to have anything to do with Star Wars, and he can hear it. You know what I mean? So like when somebody's like, "It's over, Joe," and you have company, and you're like, everybody just heard that.
Okay, well, I don't think anybody's going to answer, but we'll keep it.
85 more rings,
Okay.
and then we'll know.
Well, I'll do the rundown of all the stuff while we're doing
Okay.
this. So go to our website, miscastcommentary.com. Follow us on Twitter at miscastpodcast. I'm at JK Finley. Todd is at miscasttodd. Instagram, we're at miscastcommentary. Again, like our email and stuff, you can do all that through the website, but it's podcast at miscastcommentary.com. Make sure to go to our YouTube page. We've got lots of behind the scenes things, and we're doing some other sketches and things like that. You can find it all. There's going to be a link to, because we're going to do a different channel for our sketches that aren't related directly to the show, and that's called Miscast TV. You'll find that. So yeah, I mean, come out there and find us. Okay.
Oh wait. No,
it's still ringing.
It's still ringing.
I thought that was the voice of Zukus. Oh.
Oh.
We got hung up on.
I thought that some robot answered the phone and its voice sounds like a phone ringing.
That would have been amazing.
Maybe he was talking to us the whole time right there.
I don't know.
Oh, Lucas, come on.
Let's try it again.
What a fucking waste. You think that landline phone's going to do it?
I don't know.
1-800-PHONE-THX. Here we go. Come on, Georgie,
it was
baby.
phone THX, wasn't it?
What did you just type in?
I call THX.
Maybe
That's what you
maybe
did.
that's it. No, it's 1-800 then call THX in number form.
I'm checking back.
You going back? Okay,
I'm
maybe
checking
I
back in the
typed the
credits.
wrong thing in. Here we go.
I'm concerned now.
Oh, we're starting again.
Yeah, we're starting from
Starting her over just to find the end here. Okay, here we go. Industrial Light Man, Nathan Kennedy. There's Mr. Cockless. Here we go. If you experience any conditions that detracted from the theatrical presentation of this film, please call 1-800-PHONE-THX.
Okay, here we go.
I can tell you exactly what the number is. Here we go, Lukey baby. Come on.
You have dialed a number that is not available from your calling area.
Why?
Did you call the same one I did?
1-800
Wait a second.
746.
I had 1-800-225-5849.
Yeah, that was call THX, and this says phone THX.
Oh, phone. That's why.
I just did phone
man.
THX. Okay, so that was a big miserable failure. I was actually going to say, because it was a audio condition that detracted from the thing, I was just going to say when the answering machine came up, these two fucking assholes were talking through the entire movie.
They ruined the whole goddamn thing.
All right, but yeah, so that's it for this one. Happy May the 4th, everybody.
Wouldn't that have been awesome with Lucas or something, or even an answering machine if George Lucas came on?
Yeah,
Fuck.
we'd love it.
We'll add that in digitally later.
Hi, everybody.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys all so much for listening. We'll do another one next year. I'd like to do more, but it's like I feel like we've kind of got a thing now.
What do you
and
mean?
It's like I'd like to do them a little more frequently.
Oh, no.
But, like, it's just-
That gives me something to look forward to next year
Yeah,
in
right?
between all this other shit.
Yeah, exactly. All the other ones are just countdowns to doing the
Yeah,
good one.
pretty much.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. We'll actually have a mini episode next week, and then we'll go kind of back to regular schedule from that point. So we'll see you then.
See ya.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary